1.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gambit017, and I am going to be your host for this wonderful run of Bug Fables, here done by moonblazewolf. As we get started, I just want to remind you that you are watching Speedrun Ragnarok 2020. We're proud to benefit Take This again this year. Take This reaches out to gaming companies to help promote healthier and more productive work environments and ensure that they have methods in place for helping employees who suffer from mental illnesses. If you'd like more information, please visit takethis.org. But for now, I want to go ahead and turn it over to our runner, moonblazewolf, for Bug Fables. Good morning, Blaze.
Good morning. Good morning, Gambit. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, it is time for Cute Bug Game. I hope everybody is doing well so far today. And yeah, I am really excited to share this game with everybody. This is basically a platformer RPG. Think like Paper Mario, because this game is basically a Paper Mario clone. It's a wonderful indie game. All the characters and the sprite work are adorable. The music is fantastic. I will not spoil anything in the story if you have not played this game or want to play this game as we are going through. But it's a really fun game. You should definitely play it. It's currently on every platform and Steam, and it just got released on, I believe, GOG as well. And there's some sales floating around as well, so definitely check this game out. We're going to be doing the Glitchless category today, which I can attest still has a lot of broken stuff in it. So I'm hoping to be able to do some really cool tricks for all of you today. There's a lot of fun tech in this run. It's actually gotten worked on so much lately that it's just in a really, really good place right now, and this game is in that sort of phase where the world record is just constantly being like lowered and lowered and lowered, and it's just a really fun game. It's a great community, all that stuff. I really, really enjoy speedrunning this game. One thing I just want to call out before we get started, I have a donation incentive for this run to play a game at the Termite Arcade. Hopefully 2 games. We'll see how much time we have. That will be at the end of the run, so you have about 3 hours from now to meet that goal. I'm sure we won't need all of that, but just as a heads up, you will want to see that incentive. It's really cool, and it's totally like a little Easter egg thing that not a lot of people get to see when they are playing or watching this game, so definitely check that out. And I guess I'm running the show, so I just get to start whenever I want. Does everything sound good before I get started? I think everything's okay, but just if you notice anything, tell Gambit. Gambit will tell me. I can adjust things. So yeah,
everything sounds good to me on this end, so I think we're ready to go.
Cool. Yeah, I think we should go ahead and get started then. So let me just make sure everything looks good, and yeah. Actually, hold on. We start when I enter the file name, and we did have a donation incentive for that as well. So, Gambit, what is the winning file name?
The winning file name is going to be Quack. Capital Q, capital U, capital A, capital K.
Quack. That is a call out to my other favorite game, which is the Final Fantasy IV. Well, Final Fantasy IV and Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise. So, okay. Well, thank you, everyone who donated for Quack and other bid war names, file war names. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So this is the world of Bug Fables. There are bugs. They have jobs, they live in a society, and we are going to be playing through the game as members of the Explorers Guild, and the Explorers Guild has been tasked by the Queen of the Ant Kingdom with retrieving the artifacts in the hopes of finding the Everlasting Sapling. What is the Everlasting Sapling, you ask? I think the easiest way to describe it is basically like the Holy Grail. So we're going to start off with some exposition and tutorial here. We're going to meet 2 of our main characters, the Green Beetle Kabu and the Honeybee V, and those are going to be 2 members of our adventuring party. We also have Maki over here on the right, who is kind of like the Queen's Sword, and he will also be joining us at certain points during the run. But this is just a tutorial battle to get us used to the combat system. The combat system, again, is very heavily inspired by the Paper Mario series. So we have things like timed hits, well, we don't have timed hits, I'm sorry. We have timed blocks. All of our attacks have slightly different mechanics. So V is going to throw her beamerang, and if I want to get the best attack, which I don't right now because it's a tutorial battle and it's completely scripted, I just need to hit the A button when the cursor is in that green area. With Kabu, it's just holding the down button till a particular point in time and releasing it. Those are for regular attacks. All of the special attacks also have their own mechanics. Some of them will overlap with others or have similarities with others, but basically every skill in this game functions slightly differently. And we're going to use a lot of different skills throughout the run because there are certain fights where we want to use certain characters, certain fights we want to use other characters. It kind of just depends on what's going on there. So yeah, so we are out of tutorial mode. The first thing that we are going to do is we are going to talk to Artis, who is kind of the dojo master here of the Explorers Guild, and he's going to give us our first medal. So medals are basically like the badges of this game. You equip them to activate certain abilities or change the game or change your stats in some way. And the hard mode medal we are going to use exactly once, and it puts the game in what is called hard mode, which is beneficial for one specific boss battle that we're going to do in Chapter 2. The structure of the game is that it is broken up into 7 chapters, and they kind of follow a similar flow. Each chapter is a little bit like an episode in the quest. So our first chapter here is going to be exploring the nearby Snake Mouth Den in the hopes of finding an artifact. So all of the random encounters in this game are collision based. So if I don't run into anything, I don't get random encounters, which is for the most part good. There are going to be, assuming everything goes well, there's going to be 3 specific random encounters that I will take during the run. You are in a very weird spot, and I'm kind of scared. Okay. Where the monsters are is always a little bit random. So gotta navigate that placement RNG in addition to a bunch of other RNG over the course of the run. But we have arrived at the first dungeon, the Snake Mouth Den. So I just got my first, Crystal Berry. There's 2 types of currency in this game. There are regular berries, which is basically just like gold or gil or GP or anything like that. And then there are crystal berries, which get used in a special shop that we will get access to starting in Chapter 4. You can get it earlier. We're going to get it in Chapter 4. And we're going to learn... I already learned one field ability. I didn't get a chance to talk about it. We're going to learn our second field ability here, which is this beamerang toss. So each character has their own unique abilities that they can use while you are walking around on the world map. Kabu's, which you just saw at the beginning there, was he can use his horn to slash objects. Think like Link in Zelda games to slash bushes and things like that. And then V can use the beamerang. Now I'm going to do the first trick of the game here. It's going to go pretty quickly. Got it first try. Nice. It's just a little bit of a time save. It looks really cool, though. And that is one of the glitches, but not glitches, that we use in this run. I guess technically we would refer to them as exploits. What I did there, and this is kind of just like a preview of things to come. But what I did there was I held down the ability button, so the button that would make Kabu slash with his horn, and then, so I basically buffered that and then hit a jump input, and there is a frame window. Don't ask me what the size of the frame window is, because I don't remember off the top of my head. But if you hit that frame window, you will do both at the same time, and it allows you to do, we call them ability jumps in the Bug Fables community. So when you do an ability jump, you basically do the ability and jump at the same time. That one is just a little bit more, there's not a lot to that one. It's mostly just for swag. I think it saves like 1 second. Later on in the game, we are going to use certain ability jumps to just completely sequence break certain dungeons and certain puzzles that the game expects us to solve in one way, but because we can ability jump, we can bypass the intended puzzle-solving mechanics and just kind of force our way through. So, all right, and we just found our third party member here. This is Leif. Leif is stuck in a web. He's not having a good day. And obviously, when you see a spider web, there's a spider nearby. So we get our first boss fight here. And this is another tutorial scripted fight. We can't do anything, so I'm just going to not do anything for 3 turns. That's fine. We'll talk, as I get into more actual battles, we'll talk a little bit more about the combat system. It gets pretty dynamic once you have the 3 characters with more abilities and different things like that as well, so. So now it's time to save our moth friend. We're not going to actually fight the spider here. We're just going to free Leif from the web. And the web has a set amount of hit points, so I'm just going to do exactly that many hit points to it. If you ever see me do a failed attack like that, I'm usually doing those deliberately. It's possible I will miss one on accident, but usually if I do a failed attack, it's on purpose because it saves a little bit of time over doing the full attack or the full attack animation, so. So that is our first, I won't say a boss battle, that is our first encounter with a boss. And now, after this, we will have formed up our whole party because Leif is the 3rd member of our exploring team. We'll be heading on our way here as a full squadron of bugs. Starbird, this game is adorable, I can confirm. It's, you know it's a good game when you're a speedrunner and you never get tired of playing a game. And there's a lot that goes into that, whether it's the gameplay or the music or, you know, different things like that. And I can honestly say I've played this game for over 200 hours now, and I'm still just like, I never ever get tired of this game. So another little trick here. This is kind of cool. So the game has a spawn point if you fall into a peril like that water. So I use the mechanics there to hit that switch and then fall back to a spot that is more advantageous. And now we got another battle. The point of this battle is we're going to learn about the relay mechanic, which now that we have 3 characters, we can basically swap turns. And this game came out, Iris, last year in 2019. So it's been out for a little less than 2 years now. This particular battle, we're going to start using Leif's ice magic. There are certain battles where we are going to lean on this pretty heavily because it is multi-target as long as you hit the right spot, and it does a decent amount of damage. So here we go. It's our first experience. Leif has one of my favorite lines in the game there. Kabu goes, "Goodness, that ice magic is incredible," and Leif's like, "It's pretty cool." Under 1 year. It's just been, I feel like, so I've been streaming for 2 years, and I feel like this game has always been part of like my streaming life, so my community loves this game. We have a lot of memes in my channel that are kind of related to this. We did an entire bee week because we decided that we just love bees so much, so. Yeah, this game is great. Just missed that cycle there. Early on, there's a lot of, because we're playing glitchless and we're not like doing a lot of ridiculously broken stuff, a lot of the optimizations are going to be tied to if I hit certain cycles or not. Some of the cycles are completely random, like these water spouts are going to be completely random every time I come into the room, so there's no real way to catch those, but they're going to be different. There are going to be other platforms that have more specific cycles later on that I'm hoping to get. Try to get... This is a really tricky one. Okay, I got it that time. Nice. It makes up for the other water spout being a little bit off that first time, so that's the earliest you can possibly get on that platform in this room. So you can already kind of see, like, part of... Whoops. Part of this game, from a speedrun perspective, is just kind of doing all of the puzzles and the movement and all this stuff on the main screen, or, you know, the overworld screen very, very efficiently, so... Another interesting thing about the movement in this game is that you can use both the analog stick and the D-pad to move. It is, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's because you get like the optimal angles and efficiency that way, but it just feels like you move so much faster when you're using the analog stick as opposed to the D-pad. However, the D-pad is also extremely important for when you're doing field actions like throwing the beamerang in particular, whereas that one is like a full 360 degrees where you can sort of throw the beamerang at any angle. Yes, it is called the beamerang, by the way. It's not a boomerang. So for me, when I'm playing, I typically will use the D-pad when I'm doing beamerang, just because it's so much more accurate. And that might seem counterintuitive. It's not really an accuracy thing, it's more of like a control thing. It's really easy if you're just holding your analog stick at a slightly off-kilter angle that you'll try to throw your beamerang in a straight line and it just like won't hit what you're trying to hit. But
also, I'm absolutely loving all the bee puns that the chat is making for us right now.
Yes, let's get lots of bee puns over the course of this run. You are in a really weird spot. Alright, so I didn't talk about those also. Those are the yellow crystal I just hit there. Those are save crystals. If they are yellow and they also will heal me. The way the saving system works in this game is there's actually no autosaves. So when I deliberately hit that last crystal from a distance so that it did the heal without the save prompt. You actually don't need... Let me think about how to put this. When you're playing this game, or when you're speedrunning this game, I should say, when you're playing it casually, definitely save as much as you want. When I'm speedrunning this game, I don't really need to save because if I fail a particular fight, it'll just let me retry it. Or a boss fight, I should say. It'll let me retry it. But I'm going to be safety saving in this run at certain points, but it actually has to do more with something else that I'll talk about when we get our first level up. So anyway, this is the first real boss fight. Everybody enjoy the awesome song that accompanies it. And yeah, this is a pretty straightforward boss fight where we fight the spider. He does some kind of basic attacks, so we sort of get used to the different things that bosses and enemies might do in this game. There's also certain like characteristics that bosses will have that will impact which characters will be most effective against them. So for example, when he goes and hangs from his web like that, Kabu will not be able to attack him because Kabu is only ground-based attacks. So I need to attack the spider with V so that he gets knocked back to the ground and then everybody else can attack him. One other thing that we're going to see here in just a second... Oh, he's going to do this too. I'll talk about that in a minute. Let's not worry about that one right now. I'm going to do my first turn relay. Well, I did a turn relay in the Shrooms fight, but I'm going to do it again here. When you turn relay, you can give a character multiple turns. Every time that they get a turn beyond their first one, they get a -1 to attack. is generally how it works. And the way attack works in this game is very linear. Generally speaking, when you get +1 attack, it means you will deal +1 damage, and so on and so forth. I really want the spider to freeze here. Oh, so this is going to take me an extra turn because of that. The percent to freeze is random based on each enemy. He has exactly 1 hit point left now. If I had gotten him to freeze on either the first or third turn, he would have taken 1 extra damage, and I wouldn't have had to do any of that I just did, so... But there we go, there's the first boss fight. And we also got the first artifact, so it's pretty good for us. One little piece of tech that I do in this run, and it is why I prefer to speedrun the game on PC aside from load times, is when he did his poison gas attack, I actually did what is called a double mashing, which is I've got my controller. I'm playing on controller, but I also have a keyboard right here. And if you double mash the same input on a controller and keyboard, you will get twice as many inputs, which makes sense, but a lot of games don't necessarily let you do that to the effectiveness that this game does. So when you are like a world record level runner of this game, you actually double mash on as much stuff as you can, including all of the dialogue boxes that I'm just skipping by holding down the B button. Certain battle inputs, different things like that. You'll double mash through all of that, but double mashing for 3 hours just doesn't seem particularly fun to me. And it saves about a minute, maybe 90 seconds at most over the course of the run, so I'm not quite at that point yet, and I just sort of choose not to do that at this point in time. But if I'm ever really, really close to world record level, I will definitely consider doing that, because sometimes your wrists and your hands are more important than having world record in something, I just gotta say.
Got time for me to sneak a donation in?
Absolutely.
I've got a $5 donation from Silver Moon 9000. It says, let's get these beautiful puns rolling.
Yes, lots of bee puns. Let's go. And other bugs. They're like every bug. There's all sorts of bugs in this game. If you know of a bug, it probably appears in this game. But yeah, just to quickly finish up on double mashing, I use double mashing for encounters like that gas attack. There's also certain attacks where you can double mash to make them extremely easy on yourself. We'll see those a little bit later in the run. And then one particular minigame that is coming up in Chapter 2, we are able to double mash through to make it very, very efficient. So
speaking of minigames, we can get these B-Pun donations in. You can put it towards donation incentive at the end of this run to have us play a game at the Termite Arcade.
Or 2.
So let's get those donations in.
Yeah, there's 2 games in the Termite Arcade. If I have time, I would love to play both of them. Oops. I picked the wrong dialogue option there because I was so excited about the Termite Arcade, but just a couple extra text boxes, no big deal. So Gambit, you've seen this game quite a bit on my channel, if I remember right.
Yep, I have dabbled in while you've been doing practice for it.
So who is your favorite bug of our... By the way, we are Team Snakemouth, so we officially have a cool explorer's name. So who's your favorite member of Team Snakemouth, Gambit?
I really don't know. I don't think I have a favorite yet.
Okay, well... Your job over the rest of the run is to decide who your favorite is.
I will keep that in mind.
If anybody in chat has a favorite, let me know. I like all of them for different reasons, but Kabu is absolutely my favorite. Kabu's kind of the dad of the group.
I don't know, Leaf seems pretty cool too, though.
Leaf's pretty cool. And V's very sweet. So what I was doing there, I didn't mention this before, but there is a system that the game uses called discoveries. I'm actually going to get another one right here. Just by talking to this random NPC, he's going to give me like a piece of lore about the anthill, and then I go to logbook updated, that means I got a discovery. The game encourages you to explore by giving you rewards for every 5 discoveries that you get. So over the course of the run, in order to get the rewards I need for routing purposes, I'm going to be getting 15 discoveries. A lot of them are automated, so you won't actually, like, I won't have to actually talk to an NPC to get it, but there's probably 6 or 7 where I do. So if you ever just kind of see me wander off and go talk to a random NPC, it's probably because I'm getting a discovery. And then we also have our crafting system in this game, which is pretty much just for battle items, and it's kind of like it's a cooking system. And we've been adventuring for about 21 minutes, so we're getting kind of hungry. Everybody wants a little pick-me-up here, so we're just going to get our little cooking tutorial, which is required. We're going to cook up a mushroom that we don't otherwise need, and everybody gets a third of a mushroom, and we are good to go.
So what you're saying is Bug Fables is actually a cooking simulator.
It's a cooking game, yeah. Many things. It's also a Metal Gear Solid game. We're going to see that a little bit later, too. I'm going to buy some berries here. Spicy berries raise your attack. Burly berries raise your defense. We are not going to use the burly berries to raise our defense. We're going to use them for something else once I get to the next settlement, so... yeah, we are good. We are going to head to the next area. This game has a really nice flow where you'll kind of do a dungeon or do a battle. You'll spend some time on the overworld map, probably do some platforming and some puzzles, and then you'll get like the story payoff and just kind of keep things keep flowing very nicely that way. So here we get to we have our first run-in with the wasps. Spoiler alert, wasps are jerks. I feel like that is a pretty universally accepted statement. So we're gonna fight this wasp. A pretty straightforward fight. The only thing I can do to make it go a little smoother is if he had frozen right there, which again is just a percentage-based chance, he wouldn't have had a counterattack and it would have gone just a little bit faster. So I got a little bit of bad RNG there. We're not in any danger of losing a fight for a while. I will, unless I screw up, but that is entirely possible. But yeah, a lot of these fights are just kind of getting you into the flow of the game, into the flow of battle, and letting you kind of play around with the abilities until you kind of figure out what your particular style is. And the cool thing about this game is you can really take it in a lot of different directions when you're playing it casually. So you can power up through abilities and having a big pool of what are called teamwork points, which are basically just your magic points. You share them among all of your different party members. So, you know, if you have a lot, you can use more abilities in battle. You can also power up through the medal system, and you have a different point pool for that called medal points. So there's a lot of different ways to play this game, and there's definitely no right or wrong way to play the game. Gonna hop up there, grab another crystal berry, and then we get our first section of like real platforming here. Not so much this room, but the next room is... we're starting to get a little bit more intense with the platforming here in Chapter 2. I have to start solving puzzles with our various abilities, mostly the beamerang for now. You're meant to hit that switch that's up there, but if you jump up on the handle of the bridge thing, you can actually just bypass it. And this is kind of like the first scary room. Yeah, he's in a bad spot. So, I'm gonna try to freeze him here. Good. Got me the other day. I don't like that seedling. He messes up my day sometimes. I haven't gotten into an unwanted random encounter yet, but what's going to happen if I do get into a random encounter that I don't want is the XP in this run is routed so tightly that I can't take any... I can't basically fight any extra fights that I don't want. So any unwanted random encounter I'm just going to run away from, and the cost of that is I drop a bunch of berries. So, which berries are also routed in this game, although... obviously, we can have more backups for stuff like that. There's other quests and different things that you can do to pick up extra berries. So that's a little bit easier to manage, but still, ideally, I don't want to be getting into any random encounters because they're fairly easy to run away from, but they're always going to cost me time, and in some cases, they're going to cost me berries and force me to have to go out of my way to utilize backups and things like that. So hopefully I won't get any. Here I'm just buying... Oh, go ahead, Gamer.
You get some donations in?
Yeah, please do. More beat puns, I
I've got
hope.
a $20 donation from Infinius, who says, I can't believe such a monumental game is fundamentally very buggy game. I guess I'll have to behave myself and stop flying through these bug puns.
I think Infinius just really packed in a lot of puns there.
I'm sure we could have fit more in there. I've also got a $5 donation from the Drumbordist, who says, thanks for letting me run the train wreck that was Superman. Good luck, moonblazewolf. And he puts that towards the Gauntlet name incentive.
Yeah, that Superman run was a lot of fun. Nice job, Drumbo, on that one. Yeah, we're kind of like, we're kicking off day 3 of the marathon here. I hope everybody's doing great. That is a really healthy donation total so far, but we got a long way to go. So thank you so much for all of your generosity so far, and let's keep those donations coming. So one thing I really like about this game, it's happened a couple times, but it's more been to, you know, help me get through puzzles and different things like that. But I really, in a lot of RPGs, you know, you'll level up. When you reach X level, you get a certain ability. And in this game, a lot of your abilities you actually learn while you're just kind of wandering around in the world. And they're story-based. So, like, right there, V was having a moment where she saw someone that she didn't like, and Kabu basically had to give her a pep talk. So after that, Kabu learns the ability Pep Talk. Just different things like that. This is the eating competition, by the way. And I cheated. So I win. One really important thing, and I'm already remembering, so I'm not going to forget, but there's a specific medal that I have to get right here, and if I don't get it, it's really, really bad for my run, so I remember to go get it, thankfully. But that weak stomach medal is going to allow us to abuse the battle system a little bit later on as we get other medals that combo well with it, so... And that's the ideal time to get it, so... and now it's time for the second game, minigame. Everybody's favorite, Whack-A-Worm. And just look at how happy these worms are to get whacked by the Beamerang. Just poking their heads up and, oh, it's such a lovely day. And then this Beamerang comes out of nowhere. Because that is what people do for entertainment in Bulgaria. Yes, it's called Bulgaria. This game is delightful. This is an example of just the awesome sound effects in this game. So there's very few things as satisfying as the sound of that Beamerang hitting that worm's head. And don't worry, they're fine. They like it. They come back for more.
They seem to be very happy to be just sticking their heads out the ground today.
Yep. And I just want to chill out here with my friends, because once I get 15, I don't really have to do anymore. Unfortunately, there's no incentive for me as the speedrunner to, you know, go for more or do anything. So this is usually like a time where you can get a little bit of a break in the run early on, which is nice. We're getting our Beamerang upgraded here. Another story thing. So there's two abilities that go along with this. There's a battle ability called Hurricane Toss that I'll talk about in just a minute because it's pretty important to the run. But for puzzle solving purposes, I can now make my Beamerang kind of like hover in midair and use it to spin switches to do different things. So little demo there, and then we're off to the next battle because we completed both mini games. We were collecting what are called offerings for this festival. And we've collected both offerings. We have proven our worth through the power of eating and worm whacking. So now we are ready to battle to see if the goddess deems us worthy to enter her domain. And this is the kind of like the priestess. Her name is Arya. I guess she's an acolyte. That's kind of like that. This battle can go one of two ways depending on what ability she does. For the fastest, easiest way, I do not want to see her do a defense up, which will be very apparent because there will be a blue arrow like that. So I have to improvise a little bit now because she did that. Kabu's attack pierces, so V would get a negative if I had attacked with her, but I'm going to use Kabu instead. And then that Hurricane Toss ability that I just learned, I'm going to use that here because it also has basically a pierce of 1. So it still does 4 hits, and it does the piercing damage. Plus I used a Spicy Berry, which is going to give me extra damage as well. So this should end the fight. There we go. And there's certain fights like that one where there are conditional scripts where Arya will do something very nasty if I let her end a turn at a low hit points. So in her case, she is going to spawn an ad, which will start healing her, and I want to avoid that. So what I did was basically chipped her down for the first couple turns there, and then went for the one big turn on the 4th turn to make sure that she didn't fall into that threshold where she would spawn the healing friendo. So now we've entered the goddess's domain, and we're gonna try to figure out where this artifact is. We got some more puzzles here. If there's any more donations or announcements or anything, Gambit, this is probably a good time for that.
I don't have anything new at the moment, but I do want to remind you that we do have a lot of fantastic prizes that are available. All you gotta do is make a donation and you're entered in to win one of these wonderful prizes that have been donated by quite a few lovely people. So we've still got plenty of bid wars and goals that we're looking to get throughout the day. So let's go ahead and keep getting those donations in so we can hit our current goal and beyond.
Yes. By the way, I took this random encounter on purpose. This is one of the 3 that we want to take. And I get my first level up here. The really important thing about level ups, so there's 2 things that happen. I get to pick between hit points, teamwork points, and medal points. I'm never going to take hit points in the entire run. I will do a mix of teamwork points and medal points. The other thing that happens is it refills your hit points. So part of the reason that the XP is routed so tightly in this run is because we want level ups at certain times to prevent us from having to backtrack or use a kind of like slow healing method. So the route is structured very nicely so that we always get the level ups when we want to mitigate that as much as possible. Some cool puzzle rooms here. These are some of the first like pretty dynamic puzzles, I would say, where you have to, you know, kind of chain different party members' abilities together in order to get through certain things. Also got another little trick coming up here that I'll call out in just a minute when we get there. That happened to me the other day also. Not ideal. Okay. Ice blocks are like the actual worst enemy of this game, but here, I'm just gonna grab this switch from up here. Just a second. There we go. That's another ability jump. You're not supposed to be able to do that. The intended way of doing that puzzle involves freezing another ice block and bringing it over onto that bridge, but by buffering a beamerang toss into a jump like that, we can just get that little extra bit of height that we need to grab the first part of the big crank. There's little cranks and then there's big cranks, and we're getting we're building ourselves a big crank here to get through a part that it's there. It's in that main room. I just didn't actually go interact with it because you don't need to. Yeah, these crank puzzles can be a little bit touchy and a little bit tricky to do well, but they are definitely, if you're playing the game casually, this will definitely feel to you like the part of the game where the puzzle solving kind of gets a little bit more intense, because it's not immediately obvious what you have to do to get through a lot of these little areas here. Got myself another crank. I'm kind of at the part of the game where, for safety purposes, you're going to see me freezing enemies a lot because I really just want to, you know, keep them from encountering me. A little bit later on, we will get an ability that is much more effective at keeping random encounters away, but we don't get that until Chapter 3. It's actually kind of tricky because of where he was, but we were able to avoid that little seedling there. And this is a scripted fight against a couple of Venus's buds, where we're just gonna lay down some more ice magic. Pretty easy, but that's why I went and got that level up there, is so I had the extra teamwork points so that I could just do 3 ice falls like that. It saves some time that way. Right, and then we're just gonna go up here and get the other half of the big crank. So we have successfully made a full big crank, so we're gonna take that back to the main room here now. We do have to grab one more crystal berry on the way out, which is pretty challenging. Hopefully I will be able to get this first try. Yep, alright. Jumping onto a fast spinning platform, you never feel super great about it until you land on said spinning platform, so we got there. Oh, just missed that. Another boss battle coming up here with one of our recurring bosses that we will see multiple times throughout the run. This is Zasp and Mothava. Mothava is like a pop star. Zasp, I guess, is... I don't know if they're friends or like in a relationship or just he's like a super fan. Not totally sure their exact relationship, but they're basically our rivals because they are they are also explorers like we are, members of the Explorers Guild. This is a pretty straightforward fight. There's not a whole lot that can go wrong as long as I don't miss my time blocks, so I'm just going to focus on that for a second and let y'all enjoy the awesome music here. And Gambit, if you see any good questions from chat, also definitely feel free to relay those to me as well. I'm trying to keep an eye on chat, but it's pretty tough.
Gotcha. If I see anything, I will let you know.
Thank you. I'm out of teamwork points now, so I pretty much just have to whittle Zasp down here. Another thing about Kabu is Kabu can't attack anybody that's in the back row, so that's part of why I didn't use him to attack Mothava. Mothava or Mothava? I say Mothava. Let's not try to change things up on the fly here. Zasp just used a taunt ability, which is perfect, because all I want to do is attack anyway, so it doesn't even do anything. And I lost V, which is a little annoying. That just happens if he targets one character too much. And the way the battle scripts work in the game, it is more likely that your character in the front spot will get attacked more than anybody else. So you just kind of have to be aware of that, and hopefully you get a little bit lucky when it counts. We should still be able to finish him off. It's just going to take a little bit longer. There we go. Your character in the first slot also gets attack +1, so that's kind of like the trade-off. So in battle, it does matter who your front character is. They all come back at the end of the fight. It's all good. V was just taking a nap, and she has 1 hit point now. And we'll heal up again before the next battle. All right, so this is the final area of Chapter 2. We just have to use our offerings and hopefully dodge a couple more nasty enemies, and then we will be clearing the way for the end boss of Chapter 2, the Venus Guardian, which is probably one of the hardest fights in the game. So I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but just know that there is a really scary boss fight coming up here for me. Also, this room is terrible, so it's kind of a 1-2 combo here. He's in a bad spot today. I'm just going to be very safe with him. Oh, and then I fell in. That's not good. I actually didn't know for sure where it was going to respawn me there. We're good. There's a crank hiding up there that I need. Okay, now this guy's hopefully gonna be nice. Oh, he's in a weird spot. Oh, I froze him, but then I got eaten. Not sure how this is gonna time out. Alright, that was actually worked out okay, I think. You pretty much have to freeze that guy to be able to do what you're trying to do there. But he can get into all sorts of awkward spots, and because you're coming across the Venus flytrap like that, which, yes, as you saw, it can eat you, so you have to be very careful. Oh, that went all right. All right, and I've used both offerings, so the way is clear for the big scary fights. This is the one fight in the game where we use the hard mode battle. And the reason that I use the hard mode battle is even though it buffs the boss's stats, it actually lowers the amount of hit points that it has, and allows to skip the entire nasty end cycle of this boss if everything goes pretty well. On the downside, there are certain scripts that he can do that will be extremely dangerous for me if I miss any time blocks. Perfect blocks, so if you ever see me get a block where it says awesome, that is a 4-frame window. I believe the whole window for a time block is either 19 or 20 frames, but the perfect block, as we call it, is a 4-frame window. I don't necessarily need to get those, but if he starts picking on one specific party member, they might be the only way that I can survive the fight, so we'll see how it goes. But these first 2 turns, I'm just going to do some normal attacks with Kabu, and we'll see what the Venus Guardian decides to do here. That is... Okay, well, I got the good thing is I got the perfect block. The bad thing is he attacked V, and on turns 3 and 4, I absolutely need V to survive. And he did attack up, so we'll see what happens from here. Kind of touch and go at this point. That should be good. Okay, I think I'm okay here. So we're going to use one of those 2 burly bombs and start laying on the damage with V. This is the first fight where we really take this kind of like glass cannon approach, or all our eggs in one basket approach with V here. Right, I'm good. I just needed 2 characters to survive, so should be it as long as I don't make any mistakes. But you can really buff the way that you can stack with items and things like that, attack bonuses on one particular character. You're going to see a lot of me loading up V or some other character with all of these awesome abilities, and then just kind of go into town on whatever the boss or the fight is. So, oof, all right. That is That is one of the scariest fights in the game down. I'm very happy about that. I'm also only about a minute or so off of my PB pace right now, so that is also pretty exciting. Although, obviously, I'm not going for a PB today. We're going to have a lot of story and cutscene stuff here for the next little bit, Gambit, so this would be a great time to get in any announcements or donations or anything.
I don't have any new donations at the current moment, but I do want to remind you that if you're loving Speedrun Ragnarok and you want to hang out with us more often, feel free to consider joining the RPG Valkyries Discord. We'd love to have you. You can type !Discord in chat for a link. And again, we are raising money for Take This. Take This's vision is for game communities to welcome and support people experiencing mental health challenges, as well as to recognize humanity and mental health of game creators. And again, for more information on Take This, visit the website takethis.org.
That's awesome. Where are we at with the Termite Arcade incentive, just so I know?
We are currently sitting at $135 of 250, so still need to get a little bit of work, but I do know we still got about, what, 2 hours or so to get
Probably
this in?
2 hours, yeah. Yeah, we definitely want to get that met. It'll be worth it, I promise. So let's get some donations in for that. More marathon. Get all of your marathon. Don't leave any marathon content off on the table. After Chapter 2, you also get access to the fast travel system, so after pretty much every chapter now, I can just fast travel back to the Ant Kingdom, which is obviously a nice time save. So that's our second artifact. Guess what? There's more. So we're gonna get our next mission here. One cool thing that it took me a while to notice, but if you notice those two stained glass windows that are in the throne room here, there's actually two others that are hidden behind these curtains. And those are actually kind of telling part of the story of the game, which is that the ants and the bees basically get along, but then there's these other bug kingdoms, shall we say, that just do not get along. And so they're kind of they're sort of ostracized here in the Ant Kingdom, and they've covered up their stained glass windows with curtains, which is pretty interesting.
Well, we've seen the wasps. We have not seen the other one yet, have we?
The wasps don't get their own stained glass window. They're jerks.
Well, that's fair.
No, there's a couple good wasps. We'll meet them later. This is the first time in the game I also have to do any side questing. There's a couple different side quests that I'm going to go ahead and complete right now. There's a nice feature here, thankfully, where I can just talk to this bug, and he will allow me to take all open quests. So I just did that. Also, my favorite crystal berry in the game right here. Hidden in the music box. That's their theater, and it has a music box, which is really cool. I think the theater itself is actually a music box. This is this quest that I needed to complete here. That bug lost his hat, so we're going to return it to him from the festival. And he gives us a favorite one medal, which is extremely good. It's going to carry us pretty much through the entire next chapter. The mechanic on favorite one is I'll equip it on a bug. If that bug takes damage, the other two will get +1 attack. And I have a way of controlling whether I have a couple different ways, I should say, of controlling whether a particular bug takes damage or not. So Grab a couple spicy berries here. Let me actually get my medal squared away, because I do not want to be wearing that hard mode medal anymore. Just like it sounds, it makes every fight really hard, and that was the only fight I wanted it for, so we're good now.
But you don't want to make the game harder than it actually is?
No. There's actually a 100% category for this game where you have to wear the hard mode medal for all of the boss fights, because you get unique achievements for each one that you complete with the hard mode medal on. Which is a cool category. I want to run it at some point, but it's like 9 to 10 hours long, so... We're opening up the way to the Chapter 3 area here. It's the desert. Really, it's a sandbox, but yeah. Just the way the world is kind of built in this game is just so cool to me, because you'll see a lot of like the things that you would see from everyday life, and you can sort of tell that these bugs are kind of just living in somebody's backyard, but it's never like fully said like what exactly it is, and there's just something that's really kind of fun about that, and they just had a lot of fun, and it's very playful. The way the world building was done in this game, I like it.
I don't know, I was thinking it looked like they were just at the local park.
It could be something like that too, although I think they're probably at a residence, because later on there's like a kitchen and stuff like that. Alright, so I've got a fight coming up here, which is technically kind of challenging, and it's not that I can fail this fight. Well, I can, but it's more I can lose a lot of time if this fight doesn't go optimally, so... I'm also going to be doing the 2 hardest ice falls in the game right here. You might think that because there's these 3 enemies, all I have to do to hit all 3 of them with an ice fall is hit the middle one, but the window is the front part of his circle, and I just barely missed it. And I missed it on the wrong side, so that's a little bit unfortunate. We'll do the best we can here. By the way, this is how I'm going to manipulate a lot of stuff. With favorite one for this whole chapter, I just had Kabu eat something. Kabu is wearing the weak stomach medal. And when you eat something and you have a weak stomach, you get poisoned. And when you get poisoned, you take damage. And that is what triggers the favorite one medal. So that's a nice combo. Alright, at least I got the freeze off there. I should be fine now.
So I do have a question from chat. Is there an in-game penalty for falling into a pit?
It's just time lost. And occasionally it will put you back at a spot that you do not want to be at. So you can see that interaction there between the poison and the favorite one medal. That's another really tricky ice fall, and I missed it again. We got through the fight. That was pretty ugly. Those ice falls are just incredibly difficult to hit. But I'll have to do a little backup to heal everything, because I took so much damage in that fight. Ideally, you freeze everything and kill everything so efficiently that you can just basically run right into the next area, but because of all the damage I took, I'm gonna have to essentially, I'm going to have to use the inn, so... Which is fine, it's just about a 20-second time loss. Yeah, this is where the bees have set up shop here in the desert. It's kind of an oasis town. But we're going to go right to the hive. We don't need anything here in the town of Defiant Root right now, but we'll be back here later. There's a couple NPCs and shops that are pretty important to us that are in Defiant Root. This is also V's hometown, so V was basically cast out of the hive because V didn't want to be a proper worker bee, or drone, I guess we can say. V wanted to be an adventurer instead, or an explorer. So this is a little bit of a rough homecoming for V here. Some of the expressions that the sprites make, I think this scene might be my favorite for that, where you get to see V being indignant, Leif being confused, and Kabu being panicked all in one scene. And we're finding out here that their scans picked up something, so I have to run a few more tests here before we are clear to enter the honey factory, because the honey, in order to, basically the backstory is that in order to keep the honey pure or free of impurities, they have to make sure that the hive stays nice and quarantined, so they got to check out any impurities that they find. We did get an ability out of that called Bubble Shield. That we'll get the field ability part of it. Bubble Shield is a really important mechanic or ability in this game. So, but before we head into the honey factory, we need to round up the rest of the explorers. That's Jen and Aerie. We haven't met them yet. Jen and Aerie are a little bit generic. In fact, there's actually a joke in the game. There's two other minor characters that we don't meet in the speedrun, but if you put all of their names together and say them all together, it basically sounds like generic NPC. So it's a little bit of a fourth wall joke there from the game developers. Mothava and Zasp, I guess we need their help too for some reason, so we're gonna get them. And then it'll be off to talk to the queen. I'm seeing all of the awesome Twitch Pride B emotes in chat as well. Those are a great way to a great thing to spam in chat when something cute or awesome happens in this game to show your appreciation. Or, yeah, Natara, or just all the time, exactly. This game made cute bees before Twitch made it cool. Alright, so now we are off to the honey factory. They kind of jokingly make this place kind of seem like Disneyland. They're joking about, we should go to the gift shop. But yeah, it's not gonna end up being a particularly amusing tour. Because we get in here and we're like, yep, we're here for the artifact, and that happens. More panicking Kabu. Everybody's panicking. It's a code 32. Alright, so I do need to go and heal up here in the... It's like the break room. I need an emergency nap. Kind of a metaphor for having a run this early in the morning, but no. I'm doing great, actually.
I could go for an emergency nap right now.
If only it took only 20 seconds to have an emergency nap, and then we would be fully recharged and ready to go. Alright, the puzzles in this dungeon, there's a couple different mechanics that they're going to use, but basically I'm going to be tracking down a bunch of those key cards, like the one that I just got there, and using them to open the doors that I need to get through the area. Before I forget, I'm actually going to take off my medals now. Okay. And here's where Leif is going to get this really, really useful ability, just in general, but especially for the speedrun. This ability is extremely useful. It's that bubble shield ability, but this is the field version. And the bubble shield field version ability is going to do two things. It's going to allow us to walk on these electrified platforms without getting zapped, but also, as you'll see here in a second, I'm going to activate it. I'm going to run into an enemy, and it's not going to trigger a random encounter because it protects me from random encounters. There are entire games where they are speedrun viable because you can get out of random encounters. So this is basically this game's way of allowing us to avoid random encounters, which, as I mentioned, is extremely useful because outside of 3 specific random encounters, I don't want any. So the trick with Bubble Shield is it slows your movement down. So you want to use Bubble Shield just enough to get past the enemies that you want to get past, but you don't want to overuse it because it will actually just slow you down so much on the map. So there's a little bit of an art to learning how to Bubble Shield in this speedrun, but it's one of those skills that gets better the more you do it and the more you practice it. So but we just got a series of puzzles here. Some of them are going to be switches. Some of them are going to be bubble shield related. Some of them are going to be ice block related. It's really just an assortment here. But we're trying. The next door needs 3 key cards, so I'm just trying to get the 3 key cards. At this point, I've gotten the first one. Really want to get on this platform. Okay, made it. If I don't make that, I have to wait an entire other cycle, and obviously that takes time. All right, this room is not fun. It's a really tricky ice block puzzle. Basically, that guy unfreezes really quickly. Oh, shoot. And if you get too close to him, like, it didn't even look like I was on top of him there, but... Alright, so now I have to run away and see the berries ticking away, stressing me out, causing me anxiety. But, yeah, he's one of our ice blocks, and then the other one is this one right here. But he will also unfreeze. God, I thought he was gonna get me again. Okay. That should be okay. He might be a little bit far to the right here. We'll see. To actually finish the puzzle. Because the trick with this one is I need to activate the platform to get up here, but then I need him to unfreeze. Okay, which he did to open this door. Technically, when you can quote-unquote see an enemy, it will eventually unfreeze, and if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. So I needed to freeze it in a particular spot so that it would trigger the platform and not have any issues that way. And then I needed to have him unfreeze blind when he was off screen by standing in the right spot so that the door would open there. Oh, and then I missed that jump because ice is slippery and that's a tricky jump. Honestly, it's probably faster at this point just to go this way. Oh! Sorry about that, everybody. Okay. Jen and Ari are cornered by bee-boops. Yes, these are called bee-boops. So, we're gonna take these down. This is a very slow fight, but it's very safe, so... If there's anything to read, Gambit, go ahead.
Well, I don't have any new donations at the moment, but I can remind you that you can support Take This and get some sweet Speedrun Ragnarok swag by ordering one of our official shirts. Just type !merch in chat. We'll give you the links to our listings on Bonfire.
I gotta check out the new shirts. I'm excited. I have one of the shirts from the last Speedrun Ragnarok, and it's a good shirt. I want another one. Alright, so there's the bee-boop fight. Also, because I did just get into my first unintended encounter in that gross room with the ice block, I am going to donate $10 for every unintended random encounter that I get into, so that was one. This is kind of a tricky puzzle. I'm gonna make it a little bit easier on myself. Oh wait, no, I'm not. I'm gonna do it the hard way, I guess. Oh crap. There we go. I made it just barely. That's the tight cycle that is terrifying. Especially when you use a PS4 controller and you have to use one of those like flat buttons to signal to Jen and Aerie to flip the switch, because it's a really easy button to miss. So no, we're good. Okay, so I have all of the passes now. I am gonna go safety save really quick because I didn't actually talk about why I'm safety saving. The reason I'm taking safety saves at certain points in the run is actually because when you level up, you don't get a confirmation when you choose your level up bonus. And this game occasionally likes to drop inputs. So I'm actually safety saving so that if when I level up, if I hit the wrong bonus, I can go back and do it again, because it'll actually completely kill the run if I pick the wrong bonus when I level up. So alright, so now we get to fight some mutant honeys. They're called Obama honeys. I always say Obama honeys. Obama honeys, like abominations. That was the perfect pattern. Thank you, game. When they freeze, they don't get to attack, so... And I taunted so that they would attack Kabu, and then I get the favorite one bonus there for a turn. Another good pattern. Very nice. Because when they're flat like that, only Leif can attack them. I'm actually going to... Oh no, I shouldn't do that. Let's just attack. I'm not used to them all freezing like this. I don't know what to do. I was thinking I should do another ice fall, but this works fine too. As long as I hit the spot. Yep. Okay, and this is the first level up where I'm going to take medal points, because I want to be able to equip more medals. I'm getting all of these awesome medals. I need to be able to show off my pieces of flair. Okay, so what this did is now we can get into the storage area, which is the next part of the dungeon. And there's a shortcut back to the entrance here that will let that go a little bit faster. We're still looking for the Overseer. Supposedly she's down here in the storage area. That's basically just to set up on the way back so that I don't have to come back down here. Hitting that switch right there.
That feels like something casually they set up just to make you have to backtrack.
Yep, there's a lot of stuff like that in this game, which is nice. Okay, this is a really weird room when you first play the game casually. I know I got stuck here for a while because one of the things that they don't signpost super well in the game, it's actually on the... There's like a little help in the corner there, but you get like this kickback when the beamerang comes back to you off of a hover toss like that. So you have to actually hit the switch once it's hovering by releasing it at a certain point that way in order to fly over here, or have the machine bring you over here. I think that was the first instance when I did my first casual playthrough of this game where I was like running to the Steam forums to check because I like could not figure out what was going on. All right, and then now we're fighting the big honey. Did not want him to do that, but he did, so we'll just make the best of it. Still going to use these couple turns where I have the good attack bonus with V here to really just kind of pile on the damage. And then we'll deal with those little adds afterwards, hopefully.
Can I just say I love how if you get the perfect combo, the last one is unbelievable.
Unbelievable, yes. Boy, please don't attack V. Okay, thank you. I really needed V to survive that turn, so we should be good now. Oh, and he froze, even better. Because I get a bonus damage when he's frozen. And when you do a tornado toss like that, you actually get 4 bonus damage. Because you get basically an attack +1 across the board, so... Alright. Zasp and Mothavo were inside. Why were they inside? We don't talk about it. Excuse me. Ooh, you were really close to me. That was kind of scary. Okay, I can do a heal here for 8 berries with these flowers that you'll see on different maps throughout the game, so I'm going to take advantage of my first heal there so that I can go straight to the next boss. But first, we have to finish rescuing the Overseer. And this is the first instance in the game where it kind of changes the rules on you a little bit. So we're kind of on an escort mission right now. If I get touched by any of these enemies, it's not going to cause a random encounter. It's going to force me to go back and start the sequence again. So my goal when I'm escaping here is to not get touched by anything. Thankfully, Bubble Shield is still really good. But I just have to be careful to not let any of the enemies touch me without Bubble Shield up, so... Alright. We are good. We have rescued the Overseer, and now it's time to go collect the artifact. By the way, there's a great little inside pun naming scheme joke with this boss upcoming that I'm about to fight. I'm going to be scrolling the text boxes so fast that I'll call it out so everybody gets a chance to see if they can figure out what the joke is. Let's wait for him to come flying in here. This is the B-33 Heavy Carrier, I believe is its full proper name. But it's the B-33. Oh, shoot. Okay, we're good. The Burly Bomb. Hurricane Toss. Because it's armored. And then, Leif, go ahead and poison. Thank you. Similar to a lot of the same boss fights we've been doing recently, except I'm going to be using all Hurricane Toss this time. My attack of choice. Actually, I'm going to get to do the cool little techie thing that I found the other day in just a second, hopefully. Oh, but he called an ad. Hold on. Might get gross now. Depending on what he does here, this might be annoying. Thankfully, he's pretty busted up. Getting this ad is also going to affect my XP curve just a little bit, but we're going to take this guy out the rest of the way. Okay, good. So I was a little worried with how low that was all getting there. And then, yeah, the bombs are going to start raining from the sky too, so that's not good. Should be fine, because he has a bunch of attack up that I haven't used yet. Okay, there we go. Good. Oof. Got a little scary. But yeah, I got 15x extra XP from that fight because of that ad, so it puts me on a slightly different XP routing track, but thankfully the guide for this game has been worked on really, really well, and they have all scenarios covered. Big thanks to Danny, who was going to be doing commentary for me today. Was a little under the weather, wasn't going to be able to make it. Also, some of the other great runners of this game who have contributed, Light, the Calculus Kid, aka Calc, and the Plage as well. JCog, a lot of great folks who have been running this game recently and helping the route along, really optimizing it and making it a lot better. So, some shout outs there. Bug Fables has a fantastic speedrunning community. And if you're interested in running this game, it is a pretty easy, especially this glitchless category, I think is a really great kind of like beginner speedrun for folks. I am not a great speedrunner by any stretch of the imagination. I don't consider myself to be a great speedrunner. But this is the type of speedrun that I love. I loved learning and I still love to do, just because the game itself is so fun. And the way the speedrun kind of works is, you know, you can do as few or as many of these tricks and stuff as you like. If you just kind of go through, follow the routing, follow the boss strats, you should be able to successfully complete the run without too much difficulty. And then from there, it's just getting better, optimizing, maybe layering on some of the other more challenging tricks and different things like that that will really sort of move you into that top tier of runners of this game. Right, so I had to get an item there, but that was about it. We are headed right back here. We're done with Chapter 3. We are moving right on to Chapter 4. Check in with the Ant Queen again. We've got another artifact, and we're going to find out, unfortunately, that this is only half of the final artifact. So now we got to go find another one. Which is fine. Just means more Bug Fables. Hi, Ferric. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I see some familiar faces in chat. Really appreciate y'all being here and supporting my marathon run. We are still short of that termite arcade incentive too, so let's really hustle. Let's try to get that met. I might have to bust out some B facts here if that would help move things along. What were you saying though, Gambit?
Yeah, we're still $115 away from meeting that incentive. We still got time, but the longer this run goes, the closer we get to the end and needing to get that incentive met. So let's get some donations in.
Absolutely. Yeah. No time like the present, y'all. All right, we have another really difficult boss fight coming up here. We have to... This is technically a side quest, but it's basically required for most people who play this game, I would say, because I'm gonna go fight a outlaw, Monsieur Scarlet, and once I defeat Scarlet, it will open up the... We will call it the advanced metal shop, which is going to have all of the good stuff that I need to finish the run. Oh, and I almost forgot to go get the quest. Hold on. So these are the two that are interested in apprehending Scarlet, so I'm going to go ahead and talk to them. We're going to set up a rendezvous to ambush the evil Scarlet, and then we will do the thing. Yeah, I was just saying there, and I'll go ahead and make this official. I have a leftover from when I did my B week on my own personal channel. I have a bunch of bee facts. So if you would like a bee fact, if you would like a awesome fact about awesome honeybees, for every $5 that gets donated, I will provide one bee fact for the stream.
All right, guys, you heard Blaze. Let's get some donations in and get some wonderful bee facts.
I am gonna definitely need to focus on getting through this fight first, but once we do that, I'm sure I want to believe we'll get some donations piled up, and I can grab some bee facts for all of you. So this is Scarlet. It's not officially in the canon as far as I know, but as best I can tell, Scarlet is a vampire. So the scary thing about this fight is Scarlet's attacks will heal him. So I have to. There's a particular attack that I don't want to see, and I'm not even going to say what it is because I don't even want to think about it or see it. I don't want to invoke it. But if he does that attack, it's very difficult for me to win this fight. So we're going to hope not to see that. I still have my hard seed. Alright, good news, that wasn't it. That also wasn't it, so yeah, we should be good here. Excellent. Yeah, the really scary attack in this fight will heal Scarlet for 8 health. So, as you can imagine, that is not good. That is very, very difficult to beat. Plus it's an AoE, so it does like a ton of damage to everybody in your party, and it's also difficult on that front, but that went just fine. So that is a sigh of relief. That fight can go south in a hurry.
Would it be fair to say that that fight can suck the life out of you real quick?
It can suck the life out of your run, that's for sure, yes. Yeah, there's actually, so the newest version of the any % glitchless route, we actually do this fight at the beginning of Chapter 3, not the beginning of Chapter 4. And it's much more dangerous, which I'm not doing it for the marathon because of that. Because it is I just got a 3-turn kill. It's impossible to get a 3-turn kill in the new route, so you have a whole other turn where Scarlet can do that awful attack that I mentioned. Plus, you don't have the favorite one medal, which I guess is why it takes an extra turn. But yeah, it's just, it's a much scarier fight. But it's definitely faster if you get the good RNG, so. Oops. I forgot one thing here at the shop that I need to do. And then we're going to go buy some fancy medals. One thing I like to do on my streams that we can do here today as well is if I don't, there's going to be 3 medals cumulative over the course of the run that I need to buy from this, it's called the Shades shop, so it's a shady shop. If I don't get the medals I want right away, I have to kind of spin for some new ones, because he only shows 2 at a time. So we do a game on my channel where you predict the number of spins that I'm going to have to do cumulative over the course of the run to get the 3 medals that I want. So if you want to guess right now, now is the time to start guessing, because I'm going to have to spin at least once already, because neither of those is what I want. So there's 1. There's 1 of the ones I want. 2, 3. Okay. All right, so we're at 3. I do have to do that again, so you can still guess for later, but we're at 3 right now. God, please not 246. That would be terrible. So yeah, we'll have to do that one more time. The 2 medals I bought, by the way, I bought a poison attacker medal, which when I'm poisoned, which if you haven't noticed by now, I can poison myself at will, gives my poisoned character +1 attack. So we're going to start using that instead of the favorite one because it's just a lot easier to use since the food item that I'm going to be using from now on pretty much will poison my best attacker and give them attack up. So basically I'm going to be giving all of the boost to one character. And then the other one was Power Exchange, which is +1 attack, -1 defense. So again, we're getting closer and closer to glass cannon mode here. This is Crisby. Crisby is awesome. Crisby's gonna cook me up some candy. Crisby will also make you a donut in the game if you give Crisby the right ingredients. So Crisby's pretty great. That is not a B fact, that is just a fact. Okay, so I upgraded my 2 items there, got 2 spicy candies. Basically, the spicy candy is the spicy berry attack bonus, but then you also gain back 5 metal points. Or, I'm sorry, teamwork points, not metal points. Right, and now we're on the hunt for the last artifact. We have heard a rumor that the bandits have one of the 2 keys that we need. So that guy, we don't know why. He's shady. He's also shady. There's a lot of shady bugs in this game. But he's got a key to the bandit hideout for us. So now we're gonna go exploring and see what we can do with that. There's one metal that's in this room that I need to go get, by the way, too. So this will be pretty important metal later on. I'm not going to use it right away, but it's called the Strong Start metal, and it gives the equipped character an extra turn on turn 1, which, again, might not seem like a lot, but that's going to allow us to do... It's going to allow us to end certain fights a lot faster than we would otherwise normally be able to do, just with that 1 extra turn. Not even extra, 1 extra action, basically. Alright, so this is kind of, this is Hawk. He's basically an archaeologist. And he has been doing some digging, and he found the first key. So that's the first of the 2 keys that we need. And now we're going to head to the bandit hideout, where the second key is. Well, supposedly. It's definitely there. We don't know that yet. Just saw the comment in chat that this is a super comfy game. I totally agree, and I hope everybody is enjoying the good vibes from this game. Oh gosh, I almost overshot. We're good. Okay. So there's the this is the bandit hideout. And that was super easy. There's the other key. Oh wait, it's a trap. I now have my BFAX pulled up, so if we get any donations for BFAX, let me know, Gambit.
Well, we actually did get a $5 donation from some guy named Gambit017. Don't know who that is. But he says BFAX are great. Let's hear some.
BFAX are great, and Bs are also great. I'm gonna safety save here really quick. Gambit, did you know that the practice of beekeeping dates back at least 4,500 years?
I did not know that.
Well, now you do.
Remember, folks, getting a $5 donation, you can get your own BFAC.
I've got 100 BFACs, y'all. We don't need to hear all 100, but let's definitely at least hear enough to unlock the Termite Arcade incentive. By the way, I'm doing the first of 2 stealth sequences in the game. I cannot let any of these guys see me, and I did not push that ice block right, so I'm going to just be safe here. Wait for him to turn back around, and alright, we're good. Because if I get caught here, much like in Metal Gear Solid, I have to go all the way back to the beginning, so we don't want that. Kabu can dig now, by the way. I don't know if y'all caught that in that cutscene, but he learned a new field ability, as well as a new battle ability that I'll be using later on as well. Alright, first stealth sequence complete. No problem. The bandits and the wasps are working together. That seems like bad news for us, regular bugs trying to do good in the world. We got our stuff back now, so now we don't have to stealth anymore, which is a little bit silly just because we had the bubble shield the whole time. Just saying. But flavor. Alright, and we're coming up on one of my favorite boss fights in the game. We're going to be fighting Astophiles. Need to get my medals correct here. That didn't look right. Hold on. Okay, that's fine. The Astophiles fight is unique because he does not let you use any items whatsoever. So I have to do this entire fight without items. It's a little bit scary, but as long as I hit my timed blocks, it should be fine. And I have a pretty good strategy for how I want to do this fight. You have to improvise on this fight a little bit. I'll point out, he does a guard animation. So this animation right here, if he's doing that, I have to attack him with Kabu. That'll knock him out of that guard, and then I can use V's attacks. V has the power exchange equipped, so V has +1 attack, as well as that -1 defense, so I'm going to put up the bubble shield. And then he's just not going to attack V, but that's fine. There we go. As a speedrunner of the game, I just have to point out, one of the most satisfying noises in the game is some enemy attacking the bubble shield. It's just such a great sound effect. Especially like 5 times in a row like that. You gotta love it. So I have to rotate around to Kabu because he decided to guard again. Because otherwise it'd do no damage. You can see with the with that power exchange and the -1 defense just how much damage V will take if I didn't use the bubble shield there. Alright, and that is the Astophiles fight. So we got the second half of our key. We got the whole key. It's called the sandcastle key. So I think that means it is time to go to a sandcastle. But we got to do a little bit more on the way there. The first thing we have to do is we have to fix our experience here. So I need to fight this cackling right there. Because this is the one that's only 1 cackling. So now my XP is on track for the rest of the run. It should be said the encounters themselves are not random. Every encounter that you see on the map like that will give you the same fight every time, with the exception of there are certain seedling fights where you can get you have a 1% chance of fighting the golden seedling, which is kind of like a metal slime. That's really annoying when that happens. It does happen in runs sometimes, but there's ways around it. But it's a big like edge case kind of situation. All right, so this is the first time we're going to see V with Power Overwhelming, which is the Power Exchange, the Poison Attacker, and the Poison Status. This poor Scorpion's not going to know what hit it. And it's kind of unfortunate that that enemy chose to dig underground there, because now this is going to take a whole other turn to complete this fight. But it is what it is. I don't know if we have any more donations or anything, Gambit.
Nothing new right now, but we're about halfway through the run, you'd say?
We're more than halfway through the run now. Yep.
Yeah, so we're still $110 short on that termite arcade bid, our goal. So let's make sure we get those donations in so we can see those wonderful games at the end of this run.
Full disclosure, I was up. I spent about 2 hours last night practicing the termite arcade games. So, I'm not saying you have to donate just to do that, but I am well prepared. I'm ready to rock the termite arcade. Yet another Metal Gear Solid moment there. Leaf! Leaf! He's okay. He's okay, folks.
Hey, he did just get stung by a scorpion.
Yeah, he got stung right through the insides. Not good. Just gonna fix my medals again. Whoops. And this is the sandcastle. It's basically a pyramid. It's also full of the undead, kind of.
I mean, when you think pyramids, you think of undead, so...
Definitely. So this pyramid is full of ice puzzles and other puzzles, so this is kind of the puzzly area of this particular chapter. They're pretty fun. There's some pretty like cool and like very intense puzzles in this section, so I really enjoy playing through this part. Got some ice block puzzles here. Start things off. Got to get that on the Switch to open a new door, and also I'm going to be able to jump across that later on to get to a different area in the pyramid. This room is a really tight cycling room with a bunch of switches and platforms. This throw coming up here is one of the hardest beamerang tosses in the game. Oh, nope, I just missed it. As you can see, you have to be right on the edge there in order to hit that switch, unfortunately. It's just a little bit short. There we go. I'm not totally sure where the cycles are now, so I'm just going to go ahead and play it safe, but I got the key that I needed there. If you get it first try, you can run back up the middle. But there is an enemy on that other platform, so you can't just kind of stand there. You have to run through it. Whoops. I dropped a jump input. There we go. This next room is a pretty elaborate puzzle. You've got these switches that you need to do. You also have these guardians to get in your way if you get too close. But unfortunately, you can also just freeze one of the guardians' heads and jump right over that pillar. So ends up being a little bit easier than I think what the devs probably intended.
Being speedrunners finding shortcuts in their games? Say it's not so.
I know. I feel bad. That's one of those where you like feel a little bit bad though, because you know someone like spent a lot of time working on that puzzle. There's a few more of those later too, so stuff like that. Got that bubble shield up a little late. Thankfully, we were okay. Great music here too. Again, just all of the music from here on out is pretty much amazing. Not to say anything bad about any of the earlier music, but
I was gonna say all the music so far has been absolutely top notch.
yeah, it's all really good. All right, this is a interesting puzzle. So I have to freeze these guys on the bottom switches first. This is another tricky puzzle if you're playing the game casually to figure out. There's kind of like a diagram on the floor that shows you what you're supposed to do. But freeze them on the bottom to get across to the key here. And then pop them up to the top. Oh, he didn't actually land on the switch there. Unfortunate. Oh, that was special. What was that? And now he's stuck. This room is also notorious for stuff getting stuck on the edges of the switches, so yeah. Then you move them up to the top and unfreeze the room, and that's what opens the next door, which is always a little weird because you just got a key, and then the game doesn't really make you use it. Here's another cool little skip. And this is the last discovery that I have to get as well, so it's a little bit of a two birds with one stone scenario there. Another pretty big ice block puzzle here. This one's kind of cool. So you can actually shortcut this a little bit by stopping the ice block early and then just bonking it over there. Otherwise, you have to bonk it like 2 or 3 more times to get it properly lined up. All right, and now we found the big ancient key, and it is time for a fight. This fight's got quite a bit of RNG in it. We're going to use a bunch of ice falls. Oh, I missed that back one. That's not good. It'll be fine. I'm just surprised that happened. But their faces change colors, and if you don't get what you want, they don't take enough damage to die there. So because I missed one, I'm going to have to do another round here, but it shouldn't be too bad. All right, there we go. Get another level up. Metal points for this one. And I'm going right to the next boss fight, so I'm just going to fix my medals pretty much right away here. That's right. Again, it's also really important that I leveled up there because I got a full heal, and now we're going right to the next boss as opposed to having to stop or figure out a healing method or something like that. So it's a mummy. Everything goes right in this fight. It's a turn 2, or it's a 2-turn fight, so we'll see if that happens or not. But either way, enjoy the awesome tune here. He did his defense up, so it is going to be a 3-turn fight now, but that's okay. This means you get to enjoy this music for a little bit longer. He's also doing like his slowest attack here, so it's gonna. I can safely say we got bad RNG on this fight, but it's over now. And that is the final boss of Chapter 4. So 4 chapters down, 3 to go. Probably got a little bit more than an hour left in the run. Are there any more donations? Can I read any more B facts while we are in between here?
Nothing yet. Remember, guys, please said if you get $5 in, he will read a B fact. I will say that the RPG Valkyries are proud to welcome several speakers from Take This for Speedrun Ragnarok 2020. You can check the schedule for details on speakers and panels using the command !! schedule in chat.
I can't wait for there to be some in-person events again so I can go meet the awesome people from Take This, because this is the second Take This marathon I've done now since basically, you know, stuff stopped happening, and they just do such amazing work, and I honestly want to go give them a hug and say thank you for everything that you do.
There's definitely a difference between virtual hugs and real life hugs.
Exactly. Virtual hugs are great, but they are no substitution for the real McCoy. I never know what to do with this guy when he's in a weird spot like that. Okay. Just want out. I want out of this pyramid. We have to go back to the kingdom and report back into the queen, and oh no. What happened? What happened, Zasp? What is it, boy? The wasps invaded. That's what happened. Alright, so we are going to safely make our way back to the throne room. Boy, these guys are all just going to move the wrong way, aren't they? He did good. He moved to the correct direction. Alright, and we're going to meet the actual main antagonist in this game. We've been fighting a lot of random evil-looking bugs so far, but we haven't met the final antagonist yet, and here he is. This is the Wasp King. And, what does the Wasp King do? The Wasp King does a lot of damage. This is a scripted fight that we can't win, so I'm just gonna do nothing for a couple turns and then get wrecked by the power of fire.
It's a casual 99 damage to your party that only has 9 hit points each.
Yeah, well, 99 is like the maximum hit points in this game. So for those of you who know your Final Fantasy games like me, that's like getting 9999 by Sephiroth, basically. So he just stole the artifact that we brought back, but thankfully the others are all nicely hidden away. But we're gonna have to go try to get it back. And the wasps have a fort in the swamplands or the wildlands, so we're gonna go that way. Go try to get it back from them. But yeah, we're going to be doing some side questy type stuff here for just a minute as well, so I have to finish turning in my discoveries. I have to turn in those 2 bad books that I picked up, those purple books that I've been grabbing. There's an NPC over here that's going to give me berries for those. I call him the library police. We can't let this bad fan fiction fall into the wrong hands here. So after this next sequence, we're also going to have pretty much all the berries that we need to finish the game, both crystal and normal variety, so that's another reason why we have to kind of take a little bit of time here to accumulate what we need. It's not a ton, just a minute or two. Now that I have Kabu's dig ability from when I got out of the prison, there's a couple more crystal berries that are available to me here in town, as well as our first dark cherries item, which is kind of like a really rare ingredient, but we can also sell them for 50 berries, which is what we're going to do in the speedrun. Sell those, get a bunch of berries, and then I need to buy 5 spicy berries. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to buy a metal called the Break Metal. This is going to give Leif the Break ability, which is gives defense down status to an enemy, which is very good, as you can imagine. I got all that. I've also accumulated 5 more crystal berries, so we are going to go get a second poison attacker medal. And we were at 3 for the count for the number of re-rolls that we had to do, so if anybody was guessing earlier, this will be the moment where we figure out how many re-rolls it's going to take to get all of the medals that we need. Alright, 4, 5. Looks like today it is 5. That's pretty average, I would say. You don't ever want to get to double digits, but it can definitely drag on for quite a while. And if you get it all like on the first or second with minimal respins or no respins, you always feel like your run is blessed. So today's answer was 5.
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to Judge and Phineas in chat, who actually did pick 5 when we originally asked. So
nice. Yeah, you don't win anything in Phineas, unfortunately, but give yourself a pat on the back. You did a good job.
And yes, unfortunately, the guess of 246 was just a bit off.
Just a little low, thankfully. I think if there was the possibility for that to take 246 tries, I probably would not speedrun this game anymore. 1, 2, 3. We're going to make 3 more spicy candies with everybody's favorite Crisbee here. Fun fact, I actually can miss menu on this cooking, and I will get, if I don't cook what I intend to, I will get what's called a mistake. Mistakes are bad, they don't do anything. Actually, I think they poison you. Alright, so cooking percent is complete. There's just a little bit more crafting I have to do later on. But yeah. We are ready to head off to the far grasslands, which, if you've ever watched me run this game before, the most exciting skip in the game is coming up in just a few minutes, so you'll want to get prepared for that. It's called the Swampland skip, and it saves about 2 minutes if you get it the first try. So I'll call that out when we get there. It's probably about 7 or 8 minutes away right now. It's pretty cool. And hopefully I will get it today. I'm on a pretty good pace. I'm gonna try 5 or 6 times. It's one of those really complicated, perfect input skips, so I'll see if I can get it. Yeah, it's pretty neat. But in the meantime, we get to wander through this overworld area with Maki. Maki's going to join us for a little bit, and Maki's pretty cool, so... This is a pretty exciting platforming area too. There's just a lot going on, and it's very satisfying when you have a good good section here.
very peaceful through this area.
Yeah, this theme is really great. Unfortunately, it's about to go away, and we won't hear it anymore. Now it's going to get very ominous and dreadful, because now we're in the swamplands. Oops. Did I get my medals already? Okay, I'm good. Couple of slow-moving platforms here.
Would you say this is the auto-scroller section of this one?
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. Pretty minimal auto-scrolling. All right, so we're gonna freeze these guys down. Maki is going to help, and hopefully, yeah, they aren't gonna freeze today. I have to deal with these little reactions. Take time, obviously, so it'd be better if they just froze. Maki's pretty OP. This room is pretty intense. I do not want to get into fights with anything in here. Oh no, that was... We're okay. Occasionally that, I think he's called a clubber. If you fall off, it'll like respawn you right on top of him. Which again, you can run from encounters, but you might get bonked, and you're gonna lose some berries and some time, so... Now it is time for my favorite cutscene in the game, the Bridge of Yeeting. It looks like V has avoided the yeet, but no. No, she is not.
This is why you always have an archer in your group.
That's right. Yeah, you need that good ranged attack. We have a pretty traditional party here. We've basically got a rogue, a mage, and a knight. Or a fighter. Alright, Kabu is going to learn his last field ability here. It is called Kabu Smash. Well, I think it has a different name, but that's what I call it. And we're getting a little more backstory here. I won't spoil any of the lore, but Kabu has been here before, and he's sort of recounting his past experience in the swamplands, which did not go very well.
Yeah, this new ability, I was thinking Kabu was more of a berserker than he was a knight, but new ability kind of seals that for me.
I think he's kind of a paladin, but because again, he's kind of like the group's dad, so it would be on flavor for him. Some mix of the two. All right, this is the swampland skip room, so we'll see how this goes. I'll explain the trick in just a minute. We have to set up for it first and not get into any encounters as well. There's a big scary monster back there also. Oops, I pulled off my bubble shield just a little bit too early there. My bad. I was already thinking about swampland skip. Okay, so at this point we've done the puzzle, or this part of the puzzle as intended. We've basically cleared the way through. But here's the thing: there's a return platform up on that ledge that's off to my right here, and if I jump just right, off of this raised platform, I can actually hit the return switch, and it'll open up the... It's supposed to be the path so that you can come back this way later on, but I'm not supposed to be able to activate it yet. So what I have to do is stand here and do a perfect jump and throw off of this spot. So here we go. And I got it first try. Oh my. That's ridiculous. That trick is insanely hard to do. Because there's no spot. It's a blind throw out of midair. You can be too early, you can be too late. But yeah, I just saved like the full minute, almost 2 minutes that you saved doing that trick, so... Shoot, this guy's... ornery. So hopefully everybody's popping off in chat. I've got my BFAX pulled up, so I actually can't see chat anymore, but I hope you all enjoyed that, and I hope you're popping off right now, because I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, chat is definitely excited for you for getting that first try.
Heck yeah. For reference, I did this game in a GDQ hotfix on Saturday. I tried 5 times and I couldn't get it. So there you go. We're saving the best for the charity event. Because the Valks deserve it. They are amazing. Okay, so now we're already almost to the next boss fight here, which is that big beast that we saw roaming around back there in that earlier cutscene. Actually called the Beast. So there you go. This is probably it's one of my favorite boss fights. I've said that a few times. Probably my second favorite boss fight. Has awesome music and Kabu's a good story arc. Because Kabu has fought this thing before and lived to tell the tale, so everybody enjoy the beast fight. I used break for defense down, and then we're just going to load up V and Hurricane toss a bunch, so it's not too much to say about the fight itself. It's just the significance of the fight to the story is pretty major.
While you're going through it, I'm just going to go ahead and say that the RPG Valkyries are a very inclusive group of female and femme-leading speedrunners who all love and run RPGs. If you want to join the Discord, please use the command !Discord in chat for the link. The Discord is open for people to all people and all genders.
So what happened there is the Beast went beast mode, took out Leif and Kabu, or took out Leif and V. Kabu was able to endure this time though and defend his friends, which redeems him for his past experience. So Kabu saved everybody. And it's just a good, it's a good prelude to what is a very Kabu heavy section of the run here as well, because we are about to enter the Wasp Prison, which is another stealth section. It's going to feature a lot of Kabu and then a boss fight where we really get to see Kabu's abilities for the first time, because to this point we've either been using Leif for Icefall or V for the Tornado or Hurricane tosses. And Kabu's got some pretty good stuff in his bag of tricks as well, so we're going to see that in this next round of boss fights. But first we have another stealth section.
Well, just as a reminder, guys, remember, if you find our donation, Blaze will read out a nice B-fact on stream. Now, we're still trying to hit that incentive goal to get the Termite Arcade at the end of the run. Still quite a bit short of that, looking to get those donations in as soon as we can, as we're getting closer and closer to the end of this game.
Whoops, my My dig didn't happen there. Well, at least it only sent me back a little bit. It doesn't send you all the way back to the beginning of the entire dungeon in this one, which is nice because it's a very long dungeon. That would be annoying. Just to tease the Termite Arcade a little bit, there are 2 games that I'm hoping to be able to play for you all in the Termite Arcade afterwards. They're basically games within a game. One is a Hydelide style dungeon crawler called Might Knight, and the other one is a cute bee flying simulator called Flower Journey. Again, you definitely want to see those. They're a lot of fun. Also have really cool music. Oops. There we go. This is a pretty elaborate puzzle. I can't let either of these wasps see me. And then I have to come over here. I'm holding my beamerang this whole time. Stand on a slippery ice block and get that key. So we did it. And I have to sneak out now. And if I get seen even on the way out, I have to. It puts the key back, and I have to do the whole thing over again. So. Good job, team. This is another really cool room if you like cycle-based stuff. It's just the way this room kind of comes together when you're watching it is just like, it looks like perfectly optimized, which is just very fun to see. All right, and that is the end of the stealth sequence because we found a room that is quiet even though it has an enemy in it down there. But anyway, we don't have to stealth around anymore, so that's the important thing.
So a question from chat, is the FPS higher or lower than Hydrolite?
It's definitely higher. I don't know about the actual arcade game, but the game itself is, I'm running at 60 FPS. This is Jade, by the way. I love Jade. Jade makes a mean stew, and Jade is also a big anime fan, and yeah, that is Team Snakemouth in manga form there, so we're gonna pay tribute to the awesomeness of the anime-inspired Team Snakemouth and load up on some great stew that we're actually gonna not use until the final boss fight. It is a great item. It restores 7 hit points and 7 teamwork points. And I'm gonna store them with this ant for the time being. Okay. And now it is time to go fight the final boss of Chapter 5, who is my actual favorite evil character in the game. He's kind of like the joke boss of the game. And that is General Ultimax. He's just so over the top evil, and he's not very good. He's not very good at being evil. So we're gonna load up Kabu here for this new ability that we haven't used yet called Dash Through. Pretty self-explanatory. He just lowers the boom. And there you go. That is the Ultimax fight. First Ultimax fight. We'll take teamwork points. Nice. And now we're going to meet the true ruler of the Wasp Kingdom. This is the Wasp Queen, Vanessa, who has been usurped, I'm not sure. Is it it's usurped, I'm sure, by the Wasp King who we saw earlier. And we're gonna rescue her and take her back to the Ant Kingdom with us. But oh no, it was another trap. It was a diversion. They were drawing us all here so that the Ant Kingdom was undefended. Don't mind the peaceful music. Things are actually pretty bad right now. So the Wasp King has returned. It is unfortunate, but it is true. And we have no choice. He got the drop on us, so we're going to give him the rest of the artifacts. And he's like, ta-ta, and jumps out the window. It's pretty great. So at this point, the Ant Queen is going to reveal a bunch of stuff, which I'm not going to say because I don't want to spoil the story. But the main important thing for the run that you all need to know in order to at least kind of follow along with what's going on is that the Queen knows where the Everlasting Sapling is. It is locked away in the Roach Kingdom. But in order to get there, we are going to need to go to the Termite Kingdom, where we are currently Antsona non grata. But we need to beg them for use of their submarine in order to reach the Roach Kingdom. Everybody got it? Good. We're already to Chapter 6. The rest of this run is going to go really fast. There's a lot of really cool tricks that are coming up. Swampland Skip was kind of like the big signature trick of the run. But honestly, like, I'm going to be doing a lot of pretty techie, broken stuff for the rest of the run here as well. So these last couple chapters are going to go very fast. We've probably only got about 45 minutes or so of the run left at this point. So if you're enjoying the run, if you want some more B-Facts, if you want to donate for that Termite Arcade incentive, this is the time. It is going to go very fast from here on out.
Well, speaking of, I do have a $50 donation.
Oh my.
Dragon28, who just says, "Good luck, Blaze." Did put it towards that Termite Arcade incentive for Bug Fables, so we are so close. We are $60 away from meeting that.
All right. I want to believe we're going to get there. I'm already going to donate $10 for a random encounter that I got earlier, so I can put it towards that if need be. When the time comes, but let's not leave it all to chance, y'all. Let's get that, and that means I owe you all some B-Facts too. So let me, next cutscene we get to, I will rattle off a bunch of B-Facts for B-Dragon. Nice combo with the name there. But yeah, thank you very much, B-Dragon, for that awesome donation. This is the last of the encounters that I'm going to take on purpose to get my experience exactly how I want it for the rest of the run. So we are good there. And I believe, I'm just going to double check here, but I don't think I need to go get the safety berries. Nope, I'm good. So we can just go straight on ahead. All right, so this next area we are entering into, I'm like struggling to remember the specific name of it, but if you played this game casually, you probably spent a lot of time here, because it is a really difficult area to get through. And I am going to use a trick here in just a second to completely bypass the entire thing, so... This is our last and most broken ability jump that we are going to learn, and this is called fly jumping. So again, the concept, I kind of explained it earlier to ability jumping, is I'm going to hold down the ability button and then buffer it and then jump, and I'm going to get the height of the jump plus the ability. And I just did that there. It's going to allow me to come over here to this return return pad, and I'm through. I am already to the termite kingdom. And I had to get that extra height off of the ability jump. If you just fly, you will not get it. You have to do the fly jump, which is not a hard trick to learn. It just takes some practice. And this is our mini boss here. It's called the Primal Weevil. This fight is a little bit scary. I'm gonna have to pay attention on this first turn so that I don't, if he does a particular attack, I don't eat it. Okay, good. I barely survived. That was one of the two bad things that if I had missed a block, I would have been in big trouble. Obviously, when you load up B with all of the power overwhelming and then B goes down, your fight's not going to end up very well. So this should do it after this and another attack. And then I think it's going to be time for some B-facts.
Well, I hope you have a lot of B-facts ready because I have an under donation for you.
Oh, go ahead.
I have $60 from Firebird Lover that says, Blaze is already tired from waking up too early. Least I can do is take the stress out of his life. And that will have us hit that termite arcade goal.
Oh my gosh. Firebird Lover, thank you so much. I just have to say again, I know there's so much overlap between all of the various communities and the circles that we all walk in, but I am just so unbelievably grateful for my community and the people who support me in all of the things that I try to do, with the ultimate end result. Like, the reason I do what I do on Twitch is so that I can do speedruns in charity marathons like this and try to use my skills and talents to, you know, help support these incredible causes. But to have the support of all of these, you know, fine folks that aren't just here for this event, but, you know, come and hang out and watch me do this stuff every day, just... I'm a little beside myself right now. It's probably the tiredness, but seriously, thank you, B-Dragon. Thank you, Firebird Lover. Thank you, Gambit, for being here too. You definitely qualify in that regard as well, and I just appreciate all of you so much.
Well, I'm happy I can be here and watch this wonderful game and host for this marathon. So
I'm glad it's you too, Gambit. Thank you. All right, this is a long cutscene. I'm gonna do at least 5 B-facts here, so I owe a lot. By my count, I owe you all 12 B-facts, so here we go. Approximately 1/3 of the food we eat is a result of honeybee pollination. Bet you didn't know that. In their 6 to 8 week lifespan, a worker bee will fly the equivalent distance of 1.5 times the circumference of the Earth. So they are busy bees. Mead, which is made from fermented honey, is the world's oldest fermented beverage. So that's more of a honey fact, but, you know, bees and honey. A single bee will produce only about 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey in its lifetime. And fact number 5 for this segment is, which is very critical right now at this early hour of the morning for me, bees are attracted by caffeine. So there's some more bee facts for you. I'll have a few more at the next cutscene. But first, we have to go visit the best chef in the game. Your friend and mine. Famous celebrity TV chef, the Microwave. Food goes in. Better food comes out. Thank you, Microwave.
I feel like if I tried to put a berry and a squash in a microwave, I would not get a cake that looked
You
that
would
good.
not get pumpkin pie out. No, me either. No, that is the power of the microwave, though. That is the power of the Bug Fables microwave. Oh wow, I just kind of clipped through the corner of that wall. That actually threw me forward. I didn't know that you could do that. That's kind of cool. All right, I already switched my medals. Let me just double check here. This is I glossed over all of the story stuff, but basically what's going on here is, in order to get that submarine that I mentioned, the roaches are asking us to fight for their entertainment in the Colosseum, so we're going to go ahead and do that now. So I got 3 fights in a row here. The first one, in my opinion, for me, is actually the scariest, because there's a particular ability that it would really be beneficial for me to hit the first try. So hopefully that will happen. And then the rest of it's pretty easy after that. So, but watch the spectators and their dialogue in these scenes. It is hilarious. Watch how they're really not for us at first, but as the fight goes on, we are going to win them over to our side.
Hey, Blaze.
Yes.
Natara says she missed the microwave. Can you go back and do it again?
Unfortunately, I don't have anything left to cook, Natara. I'm so sorry. There's a really fun trick with the microwave, by the way, which I have not personally done. But if you cook, basically you have to chain together a bunch of mistakes in the microwave because you can't like leave the screen. But the microwave will rise slightly every time you cook something in it. So if you just keep making mistake after mistake after mistake, you can keep going and just cook, cook, cook. And after about 30 minutes of cooking in the microwave, it will actually rise through the ceiling of that room. So just another example of how the microwave is awesome. And also I missed that on purpose because I didn't eat. Alright, so that fight too, this is why, again, we've been fixing our XP for the entire run, is because I have to level up here to refresh my teamwork points. Make sure I pick the right stat up there. And now it is time for the main event.
So Chad's wondering why floating microwave wasn't a bonus incentive.
Because nobody wants to watch me cook mistakes in the microwave for 30 minutes. Maybe next time. Yes, we are not fighting the Primal Weevil again. We are fighting Zasp and Mothava again. They still like to talk a lot. They will never defeat us. We are Team Snakemouth too strong. I'm gonna handle this pretty similar to the first Zasp and Mothava fight. We're gonna take out Mothava first. And nice thing is this time Zasp will go down much more quickly, assuming everything goes right. Oh, that is bad. I wanted to load up and do all tornado tosses this turn, but instead he taunted V, so we're gonna have to basically wait another turn. And then we'll be able to finish him off, I believe. Yep. I mostly just don't know how long this is gonna take now, so we'll just whoops. We'll go ahead and just chuck the Beamerang at him a bunch of times, and we'll see when he goes down. There we go. Okay. I've never had him taunt V like that before, so I wasn't entirely sure what to expect. I think this will be a good time for some more bee facts while we wrap up the story section here. So I owe you all 7 more bee facts. Honeybees are the only insect that produces food consumed by humans. Like produces, I assume, not like as a byproduct, not as a like a something else product. So they produce the honey, we eat it directly. That's pretty cool. Honeybees beat their wings 200 times per second, which creates their trademark buzz. Now I'm looking at this next honeybee fact, and I'm watching V's knees, because this is a joke about the saying the bee's knees. Though bees have jointed legs, they do not possess anything like a kneecap, and therefore do not have knees. So, unfortunately, there's no such thing as the bee's knees. we're back in this cutscene. We're basically just getting the keys to the submarine. So here's 4 more bee facts. There are 3 types of bees in every hive: a queen, worker bees, and drones. A separate bee fact: only drones are male. In order to make a pound of honey, a hive of bees must fly 55,000 miles. And your final bee fact: thank you again, everybody, so much for donating. Honeybees don't sleep. Instead, they spend their nights motionless, conserving energy for the next day's activities. If only that was possible. Just going to say really quickly as well, while we were talking about bees and how awesome bees are and all the cool things about bees, honeybees are endangered. They are a really important part of our food ecosystem. So be nice to bees. You don't have to be nice to wasps, so be nice to honeybees. Make sure that you are supporting the environment that we all share, and that allows them to keep doing all of the awesome pollinating and honey producing and other cool things that bees do for us. All right, we're going to drop the queen off in the Ant Kingdom again, because we're going to a very dangerous place called Rubber Prison. And it's no place for a queen. This is going to be probably about the most intense 10 minutes of the run for me coming up here, so... enjoy all of the tricks. It's going to be a lot of the same stuff that I've been doing with the fly jumping in particular, but some other ability jumps as well, and just a lot of really cool movement tech. Gambit, if you see any questions or anything, definitely let me know. But yeah, this is a pretty wild section of the run here, so buckle up, everybody. This is where it all comes together. All the tools in the toolkit are going to get used right here. This dungeon, just so y'all know, there's going to be doors that I need to open with keys. There's also kind of a master, like there's switches, and the switch is they're kind of on like a cycle. He's really close. Ooh, I got that fly jump the first try. I'll tell y'all a little bit more about fly jumping in just a second after I finish this room. But there's a series of iron switches that I need to hit. That are gonna open the way to other stuff, or open the way to various parts of the dungeon, but it also closes different paths as well. So managing those switches and hitting them in a particular order is going to be very helpful for me. So that was a lot of ability jumps there. The fly jumping as well as the ability jumps to hit those switches. This room is more of the bubble shield puzzles. The cool thing about this dungeon is it's kind of like the endgame dungeon. Whoops. Missed the platform. In that it brings together all of the other puzzles that you've been doing all throughout the game. And some of them have kind of like, you know, little twists on them as well. So it's kind of cool in that regard. As like a final dungeon type area. What I was going to say about the fly jumps, there's actually, depending on the height, like depending on what frame you hit the input in for the fly jumps, you'll get one of 3 kinds. Think of it as like a low, medium, and high fly jump because it directly impacts like the height that you get. There are certain tricks that you need a medium or better. There are certain tricks where any of the fly jump varieties will work, so you basically just have to do the trick in any capacity. But that first jump that I did there onto the boxes when I first came into that main room on the lower level that we were just on, that had to be a medium or better fly jump. So that was pretty nice to get that first try, because obviously the frame window is much, much smaller. Thankfully, in the run, there are no more required max height fly jumps. There was one of those in the one of the final areas, but we found a consistent workaround for it that works just as well, so we don't have to do that anymore. But even having to hit some medium ones at certain points is very difficult to do consistently, so...
Chat pointing out they love the sound that V makes when doing the flying.
Yeah, the sound effect work in this game is just so good. Like, the music itself is really good, but the actual sound effects are also just fantastic, so... Glad everyone is appreciating all of that. I had to flip that switch there to open the way to the gym, because it is time to work out, let's say. But no, we're collecting books. I don't think I mentioned that before. If I did, I didn't kind of explain why. There's a puzzle later on involving a bookcase, and we need to get the 4 books that will open the bookcase. So I got the good fly jump there. And I got the key before I bonked the guy, so knocked me out of the bubble shield animation. But it's okay, I've got plenty of berries. But I think if you played the game casually, again, you probably spent a lot of time here. This dungeon's extremely hard. The bosses even just the random encounters are all extremely difficult. Oh, come on, notice me. Thank you. So hopefully you are getting a enjoyment out of watching it get the more broken speedrun version of going through this dungeon. I also love the jump pad sound effect. That's one of my favorite ones as we hit a jump pad there. Cool trick here. If you get the book and then get rolled over, it'll put you back at the beginning of the room. Thank you, dungeon. This is one of the few discoveries that I made about this speedrun, so I'm kind of proud of that one. Oh, I got a second random encounter, by the way, so that means I need to donate $20 after the run at this point. 2 is incredible, by the way. Like, I'm doing really, really well in that regard. Not to jinx it. There's not that much of the game left, but, this run has been really, really solid to this point. Alright, this is the room with the bookcase. So there's the 4th book. Now we need to go blue, green, yellow, red.
If it wasn't for all the wasps, I would love to spend some time in this bookcase, in this library, reading all the books.
Yeah, they don't really let you kind of just relax and read the books, unfortunately. All right, and then this prison has a weird mechanism. But basically, we're going to break the bridge. I don't know why we can break the bridge, but we can break the bridge, so... I need to fix my medals here before I forget. Because I think we're good on everything else. Yep. Alright, so we got a boss fight coming up here. We are confronting the Wasp King, but it is actually Ultimax's time to shine. Ultimax was the kind of obnoxious boss that we fought at the end of Chapter 5. Ultimax is back, and he has a tank now. The tank is ridiculous.
I saw someone in chat that mentioned that Ultimax is basically the Ultros of this game.
Yes, he is the Ultros of this game. That is a very good way of describing him. Unfortunately, the tank is not going to do too much. This V is going to do just absurd amounts of damage to the tank. Tank actually did nothing. Okay. And then this is the best sprite in the game. You can fight me on this, but the Scared Ultimax is the greatest thing. His little punchy arms, look at him! He's so cute! Anyway, he didn't slap V to death, so that's actually really good. I had to perfect block that first one or he would have killed V there, and this fight would have gone a lot longer. Alright, and that is the Ultimax tank fight.
He did not seem very tanky to me.
I mean, that fight in the casual game is so hard. It's so hard. I'm feeling very good about how that went. Alright, so that's the end of Chapter 6, so that means we have one chapter remaining. We're headed into the final couple areas of the game here, right through this doorway that we just busted open. Or I guess technically the Wasp King opened it. But we also get this item from the Wasp Queen called the Flame Brooch with... I don't know if you've noticed, but the Wasp King has been wrecking us with fire so far, so that will probably have something to do with that. Alright, so it's time to load up for the next fight. And then this area is pretty quiet. It's also a pretty spooky area. This is called the Deadlands, and it's basically full of zombie bugs for some reason. They are incredibly strong. I do not want to get into fights with any of them. The one good thing is, much like zombies, much like actual zombies, they are pretty slow. So as long as I keep moving, they shouldn't catch me. And then we've got like the Eye of Sauron basically there too, that will summon them if we get too close. So there's a lot going on in this area, and we're only going to be here for a couple screens, so... Uh-oh, that's bad. I'm gonna have to reset this room really quick. I fell off the bronze coins before I started flying, so I didn't have the height needed to get onto the silver ones. So I'll have to redo that room. It's either that or get into a random encounter, which I don't really want to do. Whoops. Okay, there we go. They also give up too easily. I've never known a zombie to give up too easily, but those are the exception, I guess. Okay. That one required a fly jump. And we have one more cool fly jump trick here to get up onto this red crystal platform. That should do it. Yeah, there we go. It's basically like you have to clip onto whatever it is. The red platforms will heal you but not allow you to save. So that's what I did there. Which is odd because there's then another save crystal like right here, but... Right, we've got another... We basically have 3 fights left. This is the final Kabu fight, and then there's a final Leif fight, and then V for the final boss, so... Everybody gets one last chance to contribute here. This is another pretty difficult encounter. I need to hit a couple of perfect understrikes here, so I'm going to focus on that for just a second.
I just like how he's flying with balloons, it looks like.
The what?
The middle one has got the balloons that's lifting him up off the ground.
Yeah. Okay. Oof. So each of those ability mechanics is a little bit different. That one I'm still learning because that was not a part of the run until about a week ago. Oops. Maki's gonna help out, I guess, a little bit here. This isn't just a Kabu fight, but yeah. Alright, this is the last level that we're gonna get in the game. We get some more metal points, and then it is time for the fridge. So now, for whatever reason, we're kind of like in somebody's kitchen or something. Because there's like a fridge. Get my metals right here first, actually, before I start talking about all this stuff. There's a fridge. We're gonna have a stove in a second. It's clearly like a pantry of some sort too. So, the fridge has 3 floors. I'm going to do exactly 0 of them the way they're supposed to be done, thanks to fly jumping. There we go. That's floor 1.
Who leaves their milk sideways in the fridge?
You know, I'm thinking they haven't been taking very good care of this fridge. There we go. That's actually the hardest jump in the entire fridge right there that I was trying to do. Enjoy lots of V flying sound effect. Alright, there's floor 2. I always fall off that one the first time. I don't know why. The thing about the fly jumps is usually you can tell if you got them right or not when you see like where you end up height-wise. So I had to abort a couple of those because I could just tell I didn't get the height. Alright, that's the fridge. We made it. So this is the Roach Kingdom. The roaches are actually kind of cool. They ride scorpions. Gotta respect somebody who rides a scorpion. They're not too happy to see us either. But the Elder says, no, we are not going to allow you the path to the everlasting sapling. And we're like, but the Wasp King's already going to go steal it. And he's going to reconsider here and open the way, so... Just going to have to do a little more shopping, a little bit more inventory management, and then we're almost to the end. It's been a really good run to this point. We'll see where we end up. I'm going to retrieve those stews now. The other thing that happened on that last level up that I got is I got 3 more inventory spots, which I didn't have enough inventory space to carry a bunch of stuff around, and 3 more inventory spots is quite a bit, so it's kind of nice that you get that right before you just grab all the stuff that you need to go finish the run. Alright, so... not too much to say here. We're just gonna let Leif do his thing here. Take out these chumps. Do we have any more donations or anything like that?
No donations right now. I do want to plug the next goal that we have is for a run a little later this morning. It's for Squidlet. It's the bonus squid percent run. It's got dancing squids, is what it says. It's $275 is the goal. Nothing towards it yet, so that's going to be the next one we're really trying to plug. I take that back. I just had a donation of $5 come in from Snyder EC3 with no comment.
That's awesome. Yeah, that is where I'm going to be putting my runner's choice and my donations for after the run as well. So let's get that Squidlet incentive met for KNH, because KNH is a good. Alright, this is the newest trick in the run right here. This is called the J-Fly. I basically wedge myself in that rock right there, and then I can fly up onto this spot, and then from here, this one's actually a pretty easy fly jump to get up onto here. And we don't even have to do this part of the puzzle. And then this is basically the last puzzle room in the game, so... It's a nice block puzzle, and it's finicky, so hopefully we'll get it the first time. I have to move this ice block across the moving platforms all the way over to that switch that you can see there, so we're gonna take this nice and slow. That looks good. Alright, we got it. You don't want to do all that work and then screw it up on the last bump, so I was just being extra careful there. And then this is another fly jump puzzle where if I fly jump, I don't have to do it as intended, so... Let's get that extra little bit of height there. Get you further than originally intended. All right, turn off the stove. Oh no, V went flying. That happens sometimes. That is a very funny graphical glitch that you get sometimes if the switch hits V. So don't worry, she's okay.
So would V have walked it off or just kind of flew it off?
She flew it off. Yeah, we are here for the final fight now. There's several phases to this fight, so I'll just kind of call it out. But yeah, we are confronting the final boss. He's using all of those artifacts that we worked so hard to uncover, and he's going to try to bust in here and steal the everlasting sapling. And we can't let him do that, because he is evil, and evil people do not get to have eternal life. That would be bad. Alright, so the first fight is going to look very similar to a lot of the fights that we've been doing to this point. We're just going to Mega Rush V, which, by the way, if you didn't figure that out, it's like an energy drink, and gives you a huge attack boost. The downside to Mega Rush, which we never encounter in the speedrun, is after 3 turns you sugar crash, and you get defense down. Either defense down or attack down. I can't remember which it is, but you don't get to have a good time anymore when the energy drink wears off. Oh, I missed the block completely. That's not good. All right. Hopefully this won't matter. I think this kind of goes without saying, but being on fire is bad. So... But I just need somebody to survive this, so as long as he doesn't do the AoE again, I think I'm fine. Oh, we're gonna find out, because I only got life left. Okay, good. Whew! 1 hit point. We got through it. Good thing is I get a full heal before the next fight anyway, so... But that was scary. Don't miss your time blocks, kids. You're gonna have a bad time. So the final fight coming up here is called the Everlasting King fight. It's 3 phases. The first 2 phases have 45 hit points. The last phase has 55 hit points. And there's just going to be a lot going on. Basically, I don't want to see the shield. I want to keep V with power up, and I want to keep my bank of teamwork points full. And then I'm just going to use break with Leif when I can, and keep the damage flowing. And just kind of grind it out over the course of those 3 phases. So that's what to watch for. I'm going to be pretty quiet and focused. This track is an absolute banger. Please enjoy. We're going to do a tornado toss and a hurricane toss here. That is the attack that I want to see, by the way. Alright, that's phase 1. This could go scary. We'll see. I don't like that V has taken that much damage already, but hopefully things will be fine. I think he just summons an artifact here. Alright, so we got the key. That's good. Okay, we're good. I was scared there for a second. Okay, squash tart. And this turn we're going to protect V, so it'll be okay. That bubble shield ability that we haven't used in a while, we're going to use it this turn just to keep V safe here. That is the end of phase 2. Okay. So this turn, I need to get rid of the keys this turn. This is not great, but we'll be okay. And we got backups if need be. So we're gonna use a stew there. That was perfect. Thank you. All the characters that he could have attacked there, and he attacked Kabu. I appreciate that. Of course, now I'm in... Definitely there's a chance that I could lose some characters here. I am going to... I think this is the right call, because if he does the AoE, I don't want to lose 2 characters. That would be very bad. Alright, we should be good now. This should be the last turn. Get that Mega Rush going. Toss some Hurricanes. This should be enough for the kill. The run is not over on the final boss hit, by the way. We've got a whole epilogue cutscene. That's it, though. We did it. So I'm about a minute 40 off of my PB, so this has been a fantastic run. All I have to do now is move around on the map, so this is going to be just a... This is going to be a sub 3 hour. This is going to be a really good time for y'all this morning. Hope everyone has enjoyed the run, and we still have plenty of time to play in the Termite Arcade after this as well, which I'm very excited about. That was technically the final boss fight, so if you want to get some GGs out, you can, but we do have to go throw a party for ourselves, basically, before the run is technically over. BBs? Yeah, we can do BBs, Nooster. That would be totally cool. Unbelievable game. Yeah, if you've never seen this game before and you enjoyed it, you should definitely consider picking it up. I know at least one of the PC versions is currently on sale. I think full price for this game is either $20 or $25, depending on what system you buy it for anyway. A casual playthrough of this game is probably 20 to 25 hours, so you will absolutely get your money's worth and then some. And it's a great speedrun as well, so I hope everyone enjoyed this. And we're almost to the end here. I will call it out. We gotta go into the throne room and celebrate, so time is coming up. This scene always reminds me of at the Star Wars where they get their medals at the end. Everyone's just celebrating the triumphant return of the heroes, and time. Oh, time. Okay. Oh man, so I just want to say thank you again, everybody. Thank you to the entire Bug Fables community for all of the hard work that goes into this run and all of the support that you all have shown me. Everybody who hangs out in my channel and helps out and watches when I speedrun this game, I really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much, Valks, for having me. This was a wonderful run. I do have another run tomorrow morning. Technically, I guess it's late night, but it's in the wee hours of the morning. And I'll be playing Sayonara Wild Hearts. So if you want to check out another run of mine, you can do that a little bit later on. I'm going to zoom through the credits here. We're going to speedrun the credits, and then we are going to do this donation incentive. We're going to play in the Termite Arcade. Again, thank you so much, everybody, for all of your donations. I have plenty of time to screw around in the Termite Arcade. We'll definitely show off both of the games for you here in just a second. I think I'm going to go ahead and switch save files because I have basically my full game save file. I have many more tokens. So I'll be doing that, and then we will go play in the Termite Arcade.
So while we're switching save files, I just want to remind everybody you are watching Speedrun Ragnarok 2020, supporting Take This. Take This's motto is HERE, which stands for Hope is Healing, each person is unique, respect your journey, and every accomplishment is a victory. So if you want to learn more about Take This, please visit our website at takethis.org.
All right, so this is the Termite Arcade, everybody. Just kind of take it in for a second. It's pretty awesome. There is a specific achievement that you can get. There's these two arcade games here that I'm going to play, and then these are the high scores for each of those games. So we've got Might Knight and we've got Flower Journey. If you get high scores in both of the games, you get a special achievement called Gamer. So we are going to try to become a gamer right now. You are all officially on Gamer Alert. And I'm going to play Might Knight first. Might Knight is the one that's kind of like Hydelide a little bit, I guess, if I remember kind of what Hydelide is like. But we have to work our way through this dungeon, and we've got about 5 minutes to do so. I'm going to be making a lot of obnoxious noise. It is actually the only way to do well in this game, so I apologize. You have to strafe and block and all that stuff. So, but to get score, you have to defeat enemies. You have to find keys. The good news is I already got the key. That's the hardest part. And then I want to keep my health full because you get points for that at the end as well. Whoops. These take 2 hits. There's also some wizard enemies later on that I believe take 3. But There we go. There's a couple more enemies. I know the score that I have to get to, which indicates that I have found all of the enemies. Isn't this track just amazing, though? There's the last one. Oh, he got me. What a jerk. Alright. He's not even a wasp. Alright, so now I just have to find the exit. There it is. There's 3 floors, so this is floor 1. And the floors get progressively bigger. They have more enemies. In order to get the high score, I will need to complete all 3 floors with full health and hopefully find almost all of the enemies. So we're going to be spending and I need to find the key, obviously, too, so... Whoops. There's the key. Okay. So now I need to fight, or find some more enemies. Oh, this is a fun room. But, I'm mashing my shield button, by the way, which is why I'm making all of that obnoxious noise, so sorry about that. But if I don't, they will get me, so... Alright, there should be one more... There he is. Okay, great. Thank you. So that's all the enemies on this floor, so now I just need to find the exit. Hey, there it is. Perfect. This is looking pretty good as long as I don't die here. Alright, so this is the final floor. Hey, there's the key right away. Nice. Just give me, like, the best marathon run of Might Knight, please, game. That would be cool. Oh, dropped my shield there for a second. So yeah, if I get it, I need to fill up my health here, and I'm sure kill some more enemies along the way. Actually, I'm down to 2 health, so... Oh boy, I'm surrounded. This is bad. Oh, I think we're gonna survive. I might die here. We'll see. Nope. Okay. Get it? I might die, because it's Might Knight.
I really cannot believe those puns.
I told you all I was practicing this last night. I didn't tell you what I was practicing. All right. I might not get the high score, but I think I just want to finish the game. So we'll see what score we end up with. 3 health is not ideal, but we completed the whole game. Oh man, we were really close. I don't think we got it. I think this high score is 9,500. We'll go check. But that was still the whole thing, so... Yeah, we didn't get the high score. That's okay. The hive score, yes. So that's Might Knight, and then the other game is called Flower Journey. This one is a little bit more chill. You just get to be a bee, and you get to fly through the world and pick up flowers and honey. Also extremely difficult. I have one button, and it is the button that makes me do that hopping motion. And as you can guess, it's gonna get going faster and faster here.
Kind of pointing out this is basically a bee version of Flappy Bird.
Yes, it's Flappy Bird. Yep. It's Flappy Bee, what we call it. So I'm getting points for my flower streak, as well as just continuing through the dungeon. I don't know how well it comes across on the stream too, but like they actually sort of like made this look like you're playing it in an old arcade cabinet because you've got like the curved screen. There's a couple lines that are like burned out, so the termites really know how to really recapture that nostalgic arcade experience here. We'll see how far we get. I'm gonna try to go for the high score, which is 4,000 something.
4,500, I believe, is what I saw.
4,500, okay. So if we hit 5,000, I'll crash, because this thing does just actually go on forever. Unlike Might Knight, which has a set endpoint. But yeah, thank you so much again for donating for these. This is very fun. Honeycomb makes you invincible, by the way. Fun fact. I assume it works in real life, too. I haven't tried it. I think think we're going to get the high score here if I don't screw up in the next couple screens. Hey, we got it. All right, so okay. Ooh, we got it and then we crashed. That was not an intentional crash, but it worked. We got the high score there in Flower Journey, and as you can see, it'll update your high scores. If you get both the high scores, you get a special achievement. Like I said, you get to be a gamer. So we were really close to being a gamer today. But I wanted to be able to show those off for you because they're just really cute, and there's just so much cute, awesome stuff in this game. So I think that does it for me. I was so close to becoming a gamer bamboo fighting. Not quite, but we were very, very close to being a gamer. But yeah, I just want to say thank you again for having me. Thank you, Gambit, for hosting the run. This was so much fun today. And
thank you. Thank you, Blaze, for running this, showing off Bug Fables. It's a great, fun, chill game to watch and play, especially for trying to wake up in the morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely come check it out some other time. I'm going to be running this in at least one more marathon, and I stream it quite a bit as well. So if you enjoyed it, please come check it out on my stream sometime, or one of the other awesome streamers who plays this game too. And yeah, I think we're going to kick it back on over to an intermission, Gambit, and then we're going to be changing restreamers again. So I will see you all on the other side. Thank you again for having me, and enjoy the rest of the marathon, everybody. Bye-bye.